get this joint. I'll get this joint. First star, I'm really that nigga. Truth be told, I'm a noble figure. Local niggas, they be so offended. One West world, it's global business.
Hold on, let me ask y'all a question. All y'all niggas in the same school and all that?
Hell, fuck yeah.
So now y'all niggas smoke weed?
Fuck no.
Don't fold if you say you win it. I was molded to it, now fit it. Can't control, this the highest limit. Killing shit, but this an honest living. Gotta get it, ain't no time for wishing. The time is now, better pay attention. In my city, you can feel the tension. A terror squad, no pun intended. This ain't for you, but I recommend it. They know we coming, better clear the entrance. Shit get deep, but I keep digging. This how I look when you keep winning. Over time, I had to take the hint. Shine bright, sit behind the scenes. 1-on-1, I ain't in the mix. Ain't what you thought, better get a glimpse. Came up from a pedal bike. Pressing brakes, I ain't never liked. Whole time I was taking risks. They don't play with me cause they know I'm going nice. Round form, I ain't even started. Transform, I ain't here to bargain. You on watch, better move with caution. Chains on me, I don't do this often. No error, this shit flawless. Reach for it, you become a target. It ain't worth it, better keep walking. All I know is survival. All this fashion is tribal. Want the head of my rival. This about to go viral. I say the word, then it's final. To get the moving like Pronto. I'm just living my title. Do this shit with my eyes closed. All I know is survival. All this fashion is tribal. Want the head of my rival. It's about to go viral. Say the word, then it's final. Get the moving like Pronto. I'm just living my title. Do this shit with my eyes closed. Don't wanna hear all that street shit. Me and my niggas on defense. Wonder who I was in my past life. Don't even matter, that peep this. Remember the days when I was a trooper. Stay on the path and it won't confuse you. Bars all, I'm the one to do it. I roll on eights like a flight maneuver. Try to trick me, I ain't never moving. Camouflage, I can blend into it. They better ride, I don't do the Ubers. Let them talk, I don't hear the rumors. A little suffer ain't really nothing. The way I stop it, better play the trumpet. You see me coming, better get the running. If they see me coming, better get the running. You ain't never seen it, you ain't never witnessed, you ain't never noticed, you ain't never focused. I was really waiting. I was really training, sick and tired of being patient. I ain't never doubted, this was in the making. Use what I got, not in the wasted. But rapping and singing can never drink it. But I'm from the bottom, so I gotta make it. This ain't rapping, it's a damn warning. Late night to the early morning. Got a vision, I planned it out. Try to stop me, but I kept going. I study plays, now I'm in the game, and it's all the same, but I had to change. You'll never crash if you in your lane. I can take the law, cause it's all a game.
Yo, when Casamigos being in drunk.
All I know is survival. All this fashion is tribal. Want the head of my rival. This about to go viral. Say the word, then it's final. To get the moving like Pronto. I'm just living my title. Do this shit with my eyes closed. All I know is survival. All this fashion is tribal. Want the head of my rival. This about to go viral. Say the word, then it's final. Get the moving like Pronto. I'm just living my title. Do this shit with my eyes closed.
I got you. Let it ride real quick. Look. The city eyes, it's time to vote God. My God, a real nigga, cause he wasn't no flaw. Posted on the corner like a watchdog. Family secure, got that shotty in the closet by the mob ball. Fuck what they heard, but tell them it's all true. Be cautious, that foundation falls till you fall through. They gon' fall. Look, I keep this shit 50 times 2. Ain't no more heart in this game, I'm John Q. Colder than the avalanche, way above average. Fierce taste sweet, told him make me an apple tree. Left us in the valley full of bones, this where hope found. Java, come on, man. Dark sands get broke down. Riding through Evans through a mall quad. Telling me how them crackers turn this childhood to a ghost town. Poker stop, nigga, I lay that game down. I feel his pain, cause nothing is the same now. Never light shine like heaven through a rain cloud. Glock have a fit like my child, so tangible. Try to warn them niggas we bear arms like tarantulas. Them other niggas rap, I make anthems. I really seen profits under this banner. Made my enemies bow down on camera. Told my design I wanted black and white like a panda. I'm better than that nigga that sunk dirty Diana. Look, I move like a Brazilian, precious cargo. Spirit ancient, but I got a new semi-auto. Wave that bitch around like where's Wardo. Sleep if they won't, I cut through they Z's like I'm Zorro. Hate me for his name, so I gotta keep that steel clutch. Trust me, I'm not what you think. I squeeze till it click like Dorothy when the heels touch. The world got me dumb, I don't feel much. Ride around with Yara down, just left the state bridge. Looking for a bitch better than Baby's kid. Remember I dropped Quiet Storm, I've been gone ever since. Still in the field, fuck them niggas on the fence, yeah.
I got big ring, you mad, get stained, work hard, then play, bad bitch, my taste, we vibe, we lay, you purple, you gay, you leech ass, lil' fame, I'm on war, I'm the same, 4-0, 4-0, these people, 4-0, I try to tell these motherfuckers time and time, 4-0, pussy ass, purple ass niggas, man, 4-0, they get your born ass right, niggas better get their weight up, you little body bitch. Worry about a damn pay cut, you little body bitch. I ain't worried about none of these niggas, little body bitch. You that scare rag, cow ass little body bitch. Had to fuck around, get my rank up, you little body bitch. And I'm pouring up, yeah, young nigga, and I'ma take a sip. Yeah, all these niggas run down, hate, but tell them zip it lip. And you a dumb ass, scare ass, boy, little body bitch. And I ain't worried about nothing, nigga, nah, I ain't worried about shit. I got more than one, so you know nigga don't reminisce. I spit flavors on they damn beats, niggas better catch a pitch. Never knew a goddamn man be scared to represent. But you a whole ass, dirt ass, little damn body ass nigga. Get body with it down, scritchy with your little body ass nigga. Nigga, I'm a true priest, true lion nigga, true Zion ass nigga. And you a little boy, a little bitch ass, little body ass nigga. Be rain, you mad, get stained, work hard, then play. Bad bitch, my taste, we vibe, we lay, you purple, you gay, you leech ass, lil' fame, I won't walk, got the same, 4-0, 4-0, yeah, 4-0, I tell them, dude, 4-0, get your shit together, dude, 4-0, work. I'ma do this shit till I write, you little body bitch. I'ma do your ass like your pot, you little body bitch. And I'm smooth with it, y'all zop, you little body bitch. And I switch nigga on that thought, little body bitch. And I'ma stay turning like the cars, you little body bitch. And I'm so cold like a bomb, you little body bitch. And I'm a warrior like that Gabar, you little body bitch. And my aim like that a zop, you little body bitch. Need a princess purple, you little body bitch. Or anyone down the slide, you little body bitch, yeah. I keep a couple straps in my ride, you little body bitch. Just in case anyone wanna die, cause I'm body bitch. I got be right, you mad, get stained, work hard, then play, bad bitch, my taste, we vibe, we lay, we purple, we gay, you leech ass, lil' fame, I won't walk, I sing, 4-0. 4-0. You little body bitch, and my aim like not a zop. You little body bitch, need a princess purple, little body bitch, or anyone down the slide. You little body bitch, yeah. I keep a couple straps in my ride. You little body bitch, just in case anyone wanna die, cause I'm body bitch. I got be right, you mad, get stained, work hard, then play, bad bitch, taste. We vibe, we lay on purpose.
Magazine and said that we were the face of hate. Well, hate won the White House.
Right.
Racism won the White House.
That's right.
I'll prove it today. You're going to hear many people say that Donald Trump won over the economy. That's a lie. Donald Trump, no one voted for Donald Trump because he's a masterful economist. No one did that.
Right.
No one voted for Donald Trump because they're tough on crime and they wanted to stop crime. That's another lie. Whoever voted for Donald Trump, whether they were white, black, or Hispanic, voted for Donald Trump because they wanted to hate someone else. Hate won the White House. We'll prove that today. Before that, I, of course, will answer every last one of your questions to the best of my ability, all right? Can I say one thing first? Nosotros somos su escuela israelita de conocimiento práctico universal. Comenzamos 1 Oeste Calle 125, Harlem, Nueva York, desde 1969, debajo del mando
That's right.
de General Yahana.
That's right.
Canales, esta es la verdad.
That's
Si
right.
tú eres hombre hispano, negro o indio nativo, tú eres Israel, el pueblo elegido. En tu madre y tu padre dicen que somos un culto y mantienen su iglesia, su iglesia what? Culpable. Right, is that right? Culpable. Pero su iglesia sin culpabilidad. That's the whole thing. Hold up. Carnales, esa es la verdad. Si eres, I did it already. Tu madre y tu padre dicen que somos un culto y mantienen su iglesia sin culpa. That's what I'm switching up. Culpa and culpable. Sin culpa, pero su iglesia. Culpable de todo lo que nos están pasando. All right. I'll take your questions in the room and online. Let me know if I have anyone we need to bring up, all right? Benjamin, you've got it. The water for the drink, Warden.
So I have a question in Ecclesiastes 36 and 19, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, is a microphone there? So let's lock it right. Show you.
Come. Slide.
Now.
Now, right? Ecclesiastes 36, verse 19. As the palate tasteth diverse kinds of venison, so doth an heart of understanding false speeches.
So that the heart of understanding false speeches. You want me to break that down? Okay, your palate is your tongue.
Right.
Imagine that. That's your tongue. And the same way that your tongue can understand, well, this is a white-tailed deer. This is elk. This is black-tailed deer. This is, your tongue could taste the difference in the different types of deer meat. Venison is deer meat, right? Your tongue could tell the difference. Well, a man of understanding can tell when he's being lied to. That's the point. If you're a man of understanding, you can hear a lie. Do you understand? That's what that precept is about. And that's what we teach you in here. The Bible says that the Most High God would teach subtlety to the simple.
That's right.
There are people in this world that are naive. They are very susceptible to advertising. Well, you know, if something comes on the radio and the TV, and white people love advertising now. They love it, especially when it's geared towards their particular mental illness that every white person has. I'm going to bring that out tonight, Hazahab. Tonight, on top of proving that racism won the White House, I'm also going to reveal to all of the white people listening and watching out there, I'm going to tell you what mental disorder you have tonight. Every nation has one. We all have one. It's in our blood. We're born with it. Some of us fight it. Some of us accept it. Black people have Stockholm Syndrome. Hispanics have Stockholm Syndrome. Commanding General Yohana proved that back in the 80s. Well, there is a disease that white people have. What's your question, young brother?
So, like, are you Commander General Yohana?
No, I am not. I serve at the pleasure of Commanding General Yohana. I work for him. Okay? Gracias. I'm going to show white people tonight their sickness. That's right. Blacks and Hispanics have Stockholm Syndrome. What illness do white people have? Tonight, I will reveal it. And it will absolutely be unarguable. There'll be no way to deny it. That's the answer to your question. The truth is how you can become the kind of man that won't be fooled by the next politician. You won't be fooled by the next Kamala Harris or the next Donald Trump. Everyone understands. So watch it. Get up. Anytime you're ready, I'm ready.
Come on. Quick shout out to Houston joining us.
Give Houston a hand. That's right. I had a picture I wanted to send that Houston sent me today. They just reminded me. Let me send something over to you. Stand by 1 second. Let me just send this picture to the brother.
Come on.
Okay, Houston, I'm glad to see you, Warriors. Glad you could be here. Okay.
Glad to be here with you, General.
I got a picture here to show you how ungrateful white people are. Right. See this picture. Right. Ungrateful. All right, I'll take your questions. Any other questions in the room? It would be my honor to answer them for you if I'm able to, all right? How's the how?
If I may, sir. I got a question in I wanted an understanding of Isaiah 3 and 6.
All right.
When a man shall take hold of his brother of the house of his father, saying, Thou hast clothing, be thou our ruler, and let this ruin be under thy hand.
Okay, I might need a little verse more for context.
Couple of cards, sir. Isaiah 3 and 2 verses up, sir. Or do we start at verse 1? 1. Isaiah 3 and 1. For behold, the Lord of hosts, doth take away from Jerusalem and from Judah the stay and the staff, the whole state of bread and the whole state of water.
You understand what that means?
Couple of cards, sir. Go ahead. Let's get down to verse 4, sir. Please. Verse 4, Isaiah 3 and 4. And I will give children to be their princes, and babes shall rule over them.
You have it a little more clear now or no? It's talking about the curses.
Yes, sir.
You heard about the first curse. That's poverty. That's the first curse. Now what's going to happen to us? Children will rule over us.
Right.
Children. Child people.
Yes, sir. That's
I mean,
right.
who did they hire to get Kamala Harris her votes? What's her name? This divorce. Megan Thee Stallion was going to. They thought she would choose the president. Right. They gave her, I think, $3 million. Am I right about that?
Something like that.
Something like that. $3 million. They gave Beyonce $10 million. The Beehive was going to rule the country. Beyonce was going to choose the president. Instead, who chose the president? Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan chose the president of the United States. Hulk Hogan. Our oppressor, he's a child. He's immature. He's young. He doesn't know how serious life is. He doesn't understand the consequences of his actions. That's white people. That's why they destroy the environment and destroy the water and destroy the air, because they're children that don't understand the consequences of their actions. Children rule over us now. Children of the other nations, which are any white person, their nation is a nation of children, of Hulk Hogan polluting the rivers, children. Or they'll pick a child among our own people and have them rule over us, like Megan Thee Stallion, Beyonce, or Puff Daddy. You understand? Is there any more?
Concept. Back to verse 6.
Go ahead.
When a man shall take hold of his brother, of the house of his father, saying, "Thou hast clothing, be thou our ruler."
You grab him, you grab him and say, "You rule us, huh? Here's some clothes, you be our ruler." You grab Megan Thee Stallion and say, "Hey, you rule us, Megan. You rule us, Beehive, Beyonce." Go ahead.
And of course, she doesn't have clothes.
And of course, damn, they made it worse. Give him a hand. She's not even dressed. You can't choose a leader based on how they're dressed. You can't. I know that's what you want to do. That's why your preachers dress the way they dress. You think a $5,000, $10,000 suit means he is who God loves. He is who God has chosen. You got that from the Pope and the Catholics.
Right.
The Catholics taught you that wearing those robes that cost $1 million meant that he sure must be important. That's why the IUIC wears purple. It's for that reason. Because the Romans wore purple to signify wealth and royalty. And because of that, the Catholics took up purple to signify wealth and royalty. And that's the reason that the purple pigs, the IUIC, wear purple, because they believe wearing purple means that they should be in charge. It's a little more complicated than that, you child.
Right.
It's a little more complicated than that. I pray you understand. Oro por tu entiendo. Is that right, boy? You hablo español? No, damn, so like, you know I should.
Sir.
No shame in that, bro. Go ahead, Al.
Oh, no. That's what you were saying. That
You heard me.
Yeah.
Gracias. Now I think I know that. For a young man, I know what it means to say I serve at the pleasure of commanding General Yohana. Servicio a placer de la General Yohana. Servicio de la placer. No, servicio del placer de la General Yohana. All right. Let's go ahead.
Count. We have one question online. Yakuwong, ISUPK, Louisiana asks, Salakia General, if I could, with your grace, Baba Bashar, get a breakdown on 1 Corinthians 11 and 10, the water Adonai.
No problem, but it'll be my pleasure. Y'all got the good scouts up here in headquarters, as usual. Give yourselves a hand. I see you spare no expense up here. You spare no expense. You're men of class and sophistication. And I appreciate your service. Gracias por tu servicio. All right, let's go. Give me 1 second, young brother. What's your question?
The question is, how is Spanish made?
Spanish is a language that was made from another language called Latin. And so the language over time, they change and it changes, but it started from a language called Latin. And that's how Spanish was made. Okay? No problem. You got it.
Does anybody have that scripture to read?
1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 10. For this cause ought the woman to have power on her head.
I'm sorry, what was this about again?
He just wanted a general breakdown on this scripture.
Okay, this is the precept about why men uncover their heads and why women who cover their heads do it. Someone in headquarters asked the question?
No, a brother in Louisiana.
Louisiana, no problem, Maury. Let me break this down for you. This is the reason in the Israelite school of UPK that we wear headpieces that have the tops of our heads uncovered. This is what we've been doing since the time of Christ. We've been doing this. A man should never to cover his head because he is the image and the glory of God. A woman ought to cover her head because she is the image and the glory of man. That's the reason we do it. I'll break it down for you as you have asked me, okay? Go ahead and start it on. Please.
For this cause ought the woman to have power on her head.
Please. Start from the top of this question, please. Is that the right verse? Shalom. Good to see you.
1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 10. For this cause ought the woman to have power on her head because of the angels.
Because of the angels. Hold up, Yashikar, he just corrected me. That's what I need. Entien imento, which that must mean, do you understand? Entiendimento. Do you understand? Gracias. Entendimiento. I'll break it down for you. Go ahead. Oh, and not in. Entendimiento. Damn it. Entendimiento. 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 That sounds right. Go ahead. What does that mean? I believe it means, it sounds like it means, do you understand?
Come.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead. Understand? Entiendo.
Yes.
I thought it was, but he had here. That's what I thought, but he has entendimiento. That's what he has. Go ahead.
Entiendo would be I understand. Entendimiento would be what he said.
Okay, and that would mean what?
Do you understand?
Do you understand? It's a question. Entiendo. I'll practice that. Oh, so he's saying, say this. Oro por tu entendimiento. Oro por tu entendimiento. And it's important. We should all learn some Spanish, man. Our brothers are going to need us. And we're going to need them. This is an excellent time for the 12 tribes of Israel. We're going to band together in this time. Because now the tribe of Issachar, the tribe of Zebulun, the tribe of Asher and Naphtali, they are going to go through the exact same thing that we went through. We know how to handle it because we've been through it. Now we'll go through it for them. And we'll teach them how to navigate the waters of being chased and being hunted by the white man in America. We survived it and we thrived. And our brothers will also thrive. All right, ladies.
All right.
Everyone understands.
That's right.
Entendimiento. All right, let's go. I'll break it down for you.
The scripture, who got it?
For this cause ought the woman to have power on her head because of the angel.
Because of the what?
The angel.
This is the simplest way to understand it, young brother. When a woman prays, angels are the ones that record that prayer and take that prayer to the Most High God to be answered or rejected or modified. How do you know that? Jacob's ladder. Jacob's ladder. That's what Jacob saw in his vision. He saw a ladder and angels coming up and down, back and forth, from the Most High down to the earth. Jacob's ladder. So your prayers are being recorded by angels. They take those records, those prayers to the Most High God. The Lord also said in Revelations that he's going to take the prayers of all of the saints and combine them with incense from the altar of God and take that incense and burn this earth with the power of incense from God's, from God's temple, and your prayers. And your prayers are going to destroy your enemy. Literally, your prayers are going to be used as a weapon to destroy your enemies. Prayers matter. They matter. Well, when a woman is praying, an angel is listening and recording it. An angel is not going to want to take your prayer to the Lord when he sees you're a woman who dishonors her head. If you dishonor your husband, then the angel doesn't care about your prayer because he knows you are out of order. So a woman is praying. She's praying to God to help her, but she's married. She's married, or she's a woman in the school who has a camp leader over her if she's unmarried. And if she prays with her head uncovered, she dishonors the man that is over her. And the angels will now take her prayer seriously, which is what this precept is about. She covers her head for the angel that is recording this prayer. She has to show him that she is worthy of it. And a man, for the exact same reason, go ahead and read.
Verse 11. Nevertheless, neither is the man without the woman, neither the woman without the man in the Lord.
For the exact same reason, a man ought to never cover his head. I'm going to not give you that answer. I'm going to see if you can get that. A woman has to show that she is humbled under her man. A man has to show what? That he is, Levi?
Authority.
That he is absolutely not humbled. You understand? Because he represents God. So he never prays with his head covered because he wants to show God that there is no priest, no bishop, no reverend that has him humble. No. Show the Most High God that you're a man. Then your prayers will be taken more seriously. The Most High God doesn't want to take the prayer of a sissy up to the Lord. You fake Israelites and you Jewish people, you want to show God that
The rabbi has humbled me.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. The rabbi has humbled me. I'm a good one. I'm one of the good ones. The rabbi has taught me humility.
The angel just walks right by you and walks over to hear the prayer of a real man. That's the problem with America. Too many sissies in America.
Right.
Sissies run the White House now. Donald Trump is a sissy. I'm going to prove that tonight. He is an absolute sissy. He is not a real man. He is not masculine. And the people that think he is are sissies just like him. I'm going to prove it. This ain't tough talk. I'm going to prove he's weak and feminine. I'll prove it tonight. You can't be a feminine man and expect for your prayers to be heard. Uncover your head. That's what you're going to do. You're going to wear a war scarf. You're going to show the Most High that I'm on purpose. I'm getting girded up. I'm leaving this part open. Why? Because I am the image and glory of God. Not some
Man who is my head and my bishop.
You're not doing that.
Right.
Everybody understand. That's your breakdown. Order for the two. Let's get it on.
Milwaukee's in the building. That has a
Give Milwaukee a hand, guys. See you, Milwaukee. All right.
You have a question, sir.
Please.
Shalaki Adawan.
So I'm worried.
Shalom Yabashim Shabakata.
Shabbat, what can I do for you, Art?
I was talking about why did Adam get another wife?
You said why didn't he?
Yes.
Did he have to?
No. But this lady asked me this question, and I said Jacob, who changed his name to Israel, got 4 wives. That's where we all come from.
You're right. You're right. I might be able to help you more. This is all you need in a case like this, Art. Don't go on the defense. Go on offense. Ask her this. Why did Adam and Eve have just 2 sons? They had 2 sons. You remember that, right? Cain and Abel. Then Cain murdered Abel, and then they had Seth. Why did they have 2 sons? Ask her that. And why not 10 sons? Why not 30? Why not 1? Then ask her this.
All right. I get what you are saying, Adawan.
That's all you need to do. Then you could also ask her, how many wives did Paul have? And she's going to say what? If she knows at all, what will she say?
None.
None. Why did he have none?
Because it's his choice.
That's all. You see how simple it is? When you put her on the offense, then there's the answer in front of you. Because he wanted to. How many children, how many sons did Adam and Eve have? 2. Why not 4? Why not 4? That's it. And guess what? This brother that has 4 wives, he wanted them. This brother that has 0 wives, he didn't want them. That's in the Bible. You understand? Jesus Christ had no wife. Paul had no wife. None. Why? Because they decided that they were going to take on the ability to be a eunuch. Because they had the ability and they wanted to focus on the work of the Lord. That's the best amount of wives to have. None. Nevertheless, if you cannot sustain, let them marry. You're allowed to marry and you're allowed not to. You're allowed to have just 1 wife. You're allowed to have none. You're allowed to have 10. Do you understand? And all you have to do is ask her, how many children did Adam and Eve have? She's going to say 2 if she knows the Bible at all. Ask her why, and that's when she will answer her own question by why didn't Adam have more wives? She'll say because he chose. The same reason this brother has 4 children, this brother has 2 children. This brother has 6 children. This brother doesn't have any children. It's a choice, and you're allowed to choose. The problem is with this world is they don't give you the right to marry. And that is a sin, precept. Oh, it's right out the Bible. You know that, how's the how? It's in the New Testament for the Christians. They forbid to marry. They don't allow you to marry. That's wrong because marriage is your choice. My body, my choice. You heard that. My body, my choice. If a woman wants to have sex with a man who has another woman, can she do it? Her body, her choice. That's what they say. I'm no Kamala Harris, but I know that's what they say. No, my body, my choice. A woman has the right to choose to give her body to a married man.
That's right.
Her body, her choice. Why would you take away a woman's choice with her body? I thought that was wrong. That's what I've been hearing for 6 months on my phone. Right? A woman has the right to choose. That's her body. If a woman has the right to choose to unalive a child that's in her, why doesn't a woman have the right to have sex with a married man? No one will die.
Right.
Why can't she just have sex with a married man? Or I can tell you how or why you have a shot. Auto for two indimiento. Damn right. That's right. It's her choice. That's her body. Oh, what, man, who are you to take away a woman's choice to do what she decides to do with her body? She wants to have sex with these married brothers. Right? Let her do it.
That's right.
Encourage it.
That's right.
1 second, Warrior. Let me wrap this question up. Everybody understands. You ask a Christian that, they'll break the whole thing down for you. Give me the precept.
Come.
How's it, how you want to deal with it?
It's
up to you. Go ahead.
Timothy 4:3. If I could answer,
Please.
no polygamy shaming.
Don't polygamy shame them out the That's a polygamy shame. That's wrong. Damn it, isn't that wrong? That's the one thing you're still allowed to shame somebody over, is the fact that a woman loves a man who has other women and a man who has more than one woman. Stop polygamy shame. There is no barrier to love. None.
Right.
Go ahead.
1 Timothy 4:3. Forbidding to marry. 1 Timothy 4, verse 2. Speaking lies in hypocrisy.
What do they do?
Speaking lies in hypocrisy.
Let me tell you, Paul warned us about people like them. They speak lies and hypocrisy. It's a lie. Why? Because there is nothing unlawful about a man having more than one woman. That's a lie.
Right.
It's Roman religion.
That's right.
It's a lie. And it's hypocrisy for one reason. Because you divorce a woman and go have sex with everybody. Do you understand? You're going to have sex with prostitutes, strippers, your ex a few times. You'll get back into your ex in between her boyfriends. Right? You backslide back into that. You go have sex with strippers in the strip clubs. You have sex with prostitutes. You meet women on Instagram and Insta everything and have sex with them. But then when I have more than one wife, you say that's a sin. You're not supposed to have more than one wife. Hypocrite.
That's right.
You have sex with everybody and children and boys. You do that. That's what Christians do. But we're wrong for having sex with more than one woman. You're a hypocrite and a liar.
Right.
And this is what hypocrites and liars say. Go ahead.
Having their conscience seared with a hot iron.
Their conscience is seared, meaning this thing is so evil, it's burned into their conscience. It's wrong. It's wrong to do this. Keep going.
Semicolon. Forbidding to marry.
What do? What burns in their conscience because it's so wrong? Forbidding to marry.
Right.
So you have a wife, and then I say, listen, well, I met some other sister. I want to marry her too. You can't do that.
That's right.
Are you forbidding it? Really? I can't. Are you forbidden? I can't marry. So let me ask you a question, Reverend Bishop. What would I have to do if I wanted to marry this new woman? What would the bishop say? They all say. I meet someone, I fall in love. I'm not in love with my other wife anymore. So what does the bishop tell me I must do to make this lawful unto God, brother? Microphone.
But like you said, he would tell them to divorce.
He would say, divorce your first wife, then God will accept your new marriage. You're a hypocrite and a liar, and that's adultery.
Right.
Come on.
Precept, sir.
Please.
Matthew 19:9. And I say unto you, whosoever shall put away his wife, except it be for fornication, and shall marry another, committeth adultery.
That's in the Bible. You put away this wife and you marry another. That is accepted in every religious group, including Israelite groups. Israelite groups, the IUIC, accepts when you meet somebody you love more, divorce this one and marry this other one. That's legal to them. That's lawful. The Catholics agree. The Christians agree. The Muslims agree. Commanding General Yohana says that is adultery.
That's right.
You cannot do that.
That's
Please,
right.
brother in the back.
Salakia, sir, if I may, you're dropping it so heavy. I remember when I had a ring on my finger, I couldn't beat away all the women when I went into the club with this ring on my finger. And also I had brothers in the world ask me, take off that ring so I could wear the ring so I could get, you know what I'm saying, so I could get the ladies. So they know that I'm married, because I noticed that a lot of women will, you know what I'm saying, will accept multiple marriage if you had a ring on your finger.
Once again, that's tradition with people in the world. Of course, a ring is not marriage. The same way a birthday party doesn't mean it's, you know, you were born that day. It's a celebration. It's not the thing. The actual marriage is sex.
That's right.
That's the marriage. And you're free to marry. And any Israelite group or Christian that's forbidding it is doing something against Christ, against what the Bible says. All right? So that's what you ask. All right, good to go? You good with that, Milwaukee? Fine. Próximo preguntas.
Kind of one, kind. Brother has a question online. Salakia, sir, if I may, could I get a breakdown on Genesis 5:24 on what they meant when they said Enoch was not, for God took him?
I got you. Go ahead.
Genesis chapter 5, verse 24. And Enoch walked with God, and he was not, for God took him.
Enoch died. That's what they're talking about. Enoch died. Enoch, I believe, was he the one taken up into the chariot?
Oh,
So he was taken up into the chariot. After he was taken up into that chariot, he died. Just like Elijah. He was taken up into the chariot in the sight of men so that men could know that God absolutely approved of him. That God gave him the authority. It was done in front of everybody. The same thing happened with Jesus Christ. After Jesus Christ rose from the dead, then the chariot came and took him up to make sure that the disciples knew that the Most High God gave this man authority. Okay, but then of course Jesus Christ lived on unto this day. These other men, they died afterwards, all right? How's it help?
If I may, so, a couple years back.
Otra vez, ven otra vez, please. That means again, please. Say me one more time, Warrior, in the back. Go ahead, please. Go ahead.
So a couple years back, I heard a breakdown that said that the part that said where it says he was not, was to say like he was not there.
That's what it means. He was not there. Meaning he was not here. That's what it means when it says he was not. If you look, he wasn't around us anymore. The Most High took him on the chariot and dead. It's like John the Baptist. Elijah, who was John the Baptist. All right, good to go.
Come.
Next.
Young man Jermaine online says, Shalom, Yahweh Shemina Shabbat, Dallas. Young man Jermaine, Salakia, can you break down Revelations 14:4?
No problem, young brother Jermaine. It would be my pleasure and an honor.
Revelations
Go ahead.
chapter 14, verse 4. These are they which were not defiled with women, for they are virgins. These are they which follow the Lamb.
Let me break it down for you, young brother. This is the book of Revelations. You want to think of Revelations like the interpretation of one man's dream. There was a man named John. He was a disciple of Christ. He walked with Jesus Christ. He and his brother, the sons of Zebedee, their mother took them to Christ when they were young men because they were wild. And their mother knew that she needed him to get her sons in order. And she knew he could do it. So she brought her two sons, James and John Zebedee. And Jesus Christ took them in. And he trained them up. And he loved them dearly. Until one day, of course, John was arrested for being a disciple of Christ. And he was thrown on a prison colony prison island called the island of Patmos in the Peloponnesian, in the Greek Sea. He was set there on that island writing on a cave wall, writing on whatever paper he could find, writing visions that he had, dreams that he had. And this is one of those dreams. The entire book of Revelations is about these dreams. These dreams centered around the apocalypse of Jesus Christ. Before the Catholics changed the name of the book was the Apocalypse of Jesus Christ. Right. Because the entire book of Revelation is about the return of Christ and the destruction that's coming for the people that put him in prison on this island. Right. They're going to be destroyed. And that's what he was writing about. So now I'm going to break it down to you. Now you know it's a dream. So you have to interpret it. No one knows how to interpret it but Commanding General Yahweh. Right. And I will give you that interpretation right now, which is God's interpretation. Right. Please read again.
These are they which were not defiled with women.
These are speaking about these men who stood for Christ on this earth. Men like John the Baptist, who were in prison, who were hated for saying something that is so true and so holy that the people should love us for it. But instead they hate us. Give me Joy. Give me, what's that broad name? Joy Reid. Give me her first. Let me show you this quickly if I could, all right? We're hated and other people are not. Everyone hates us. We have to be in prison, put on list and hunted by the FBI for saying something that is so pure and so true, you would think they would love us for it. Right. You don't believe me? Right. This is a woman, she's a host on MSNBC. She makes millions of dollars. She was a staunch supporter of Kamala Harris. Then Kamala Harris lost the election, and she saw that white women voted for Donald Trump. Right. Even though Donald Trump is going to make a national abortion ban, Donald Trump is a sex offender. Right. Donald Trump sexually assaulted a woman. In civil court, it's called sexual assault. If it went to the criminal court, it's called rape. It's the exact same action. He forcibly had sex with a woman. But the court never took it up in criminal case because it happened 30 years ago. Civil court took it up, and he was convicted of civil rape. Convicted of it. White women voted for him. The majority of white women voted for him. Well, Joy was upset about that. And this is what she said right after the election. Now, she's going to reference a march with P-word hats. Young brothers, you might not know. When Donald Trump won the first time, there was a giant march on Washington, D.C. with hats that they called vagina hats. But they didn't use the word vagina. Right. It was a straight up hat that looked like a vagina. And you had looked like 500,000 white women out there with hats shaped like vaginas protesting Donald Trump because they knew he was going to overturn Roe v. Wade. Guess what happened later? He did it. He overturned it. So she's going to reference this march, and she's going to say, don't invite me to the next march. And listen to everything she says. And then tell me who else said it. Go ahead.
I just want to give some free advice to the white progressives, particularly white progressive women who may be thinking about marching against the Trump victory, maybe putting back on the P-word hats and doing that thing. I would just say probably don't send any of those invites to any black women you know. I'm just going to tell you right now, they're not coming. I'm pretty sure black women have resigned from the Save America Coalition, Save Democracy Coalition, and definitely the Save the Democratic Party Coalition. I think that's probably not happening. I would just keep those invites maybe among your own friends because I don't think they're coming. But yeah, I think black women are now on the Save Black Women, Prioritize Black Men, and prioritize black communities, black businesses, and that. And you know, the black spaces, but Save America, Save the Democratic Party. Yeah, I don't think that's happening.
Stop. She said, now we're not going to march with white women anymore. We're going to prioritize saving black women, saving black men, saving black businesses, but we're not going to save the Democratic Party. She said, we're not going to save America anymore. You know what? They threw bottles at us at Times Square for saying that.
Right.
You understand me?
Right.
We had to get arrested at Times Square for saying, don't vote, don't save America, worry about your own people. Commanding General Yohana had to get arrested for that. For saying that. For saying this exact same thing. That's how they treated us. That's how we get treated. For saying something that now is obvious. She's not in the hate group. You're not going to call her. You're not going to put her picture on the front of the Minority Report magazine saying that she's the face of hatred. This is what we teach. But we had to be persecuted for it since 1969. To this day, we can't go and get grants because we're classified as a hate group. To this day, they won't allow us to get the grants that any nonprofit organization is allowed to get. Why? Because we're classified as a hate group. You know why? Because we say don't save America. Prioritize black men, prioritize Hispanic men, prioritize Hispanic women, and don't support the Democratic Party or the Republican Party. That's why we can't get a grant.
Right.
That's why. This is what John went through. And he was in prison on an island for it. And he had dreams every night about his oppressor being destroyed.
That's right.
These are the men that should be raised up. The men that say this, even when it's not popular, even when Barack Obama wins the White House. We said this. John said that what? These men are not defiled with women. What's the women that they were defiled with? I almost gave it to you with giving you this list. What does a woman do for you? She gives you pleasure. You go into a woman and you have sex with a woman, and you want to have sex with her so bad because it feels so good. But after you have sex with her, you get a disease. That's right. You are defiled with that whore. What are the women that we're talking about? Religions. These religions are the women. The Bible also says what in Revelations? There is a great whore that sits upon many waters, and he that goeth in unto her shall receive of her plague. Right. That's the metaphor of a man having sex with a prostitute because she's so pretty, because she's so easy, and because the sex with her would feel so good, but afterwards you are sickened by the action. Right. You understand? Religions, that's the woman. Christianity, Islam, the Democratic Party, that's the woman. You want to join. You want to go into them for the pleasure, for the fact of, now my mom will know I'm a good American. Now everyone in my neighborhood says, he goes to church. He voted this year. You want the pleasure of inclusion, but young man, you're going to get an illness because of it. You're going to get sick because you went into that whore. Religions are the women in this metaphor. Please.
So like if I may, because the lady there spoke of not.
Can we see him, Archer? Try to always see this, brother. Go ahead.
Do not support America and the Democratic Party. These are the things that our commanding general had mentioned before, yet we're blacklisted and things of such. Okay, the Bible also says words like rise from the ashes and build a great and mighty army. So I know when truth needs to be brought to the forefront, I think it's a mighty thing that without the hand of the spotlight and celebrities, we can rise up from the ashes and become that army to bring our nation forth, if I'm correct, sir.
You're absolutely correct. Well said. Be in beach. Well said. Give him a hand. Well said.
Always good to see you, sir.
Good to see you as well, Warrior, and your son. Good job. Question. Warrior. Good to see you. Okay, let me get the next question now. In the back. I'm going to get one online if I could before I forget. Come on.
Come on, sir. Brother Kazak Damar asked Salaki Adawan in Isaiah 53:7. What does it mean when it says he opened not his mouth?
Read it quickly. Let me know we finish you get into the topic too. We'll sprinkle them in whenever we can.
Come on.
But then in a minute, we'll just get all up in it. I'm gonna put the knife first. No sweat. Let me get Paratazar in you, all right? Go ahead.
Isaiah 53 verse 7. He was oppressed and he was afflicted, yet he opened not his mouth.
Meaning he was oppressed and he was afflicted and he did not complain. That's what opened not his mouth is. That's a manly way to take oppression. That's like a man. Donald Trump is a vagina. He's a vagina. He's a complaining, whining, cry baby.
Right.
You're a black man. Think about a black man who gets up every day, goes to work, and child support takes half his check.
That's right.
Half his check. He gets up every day, he still goes. He just muscles through it. The brothers like yourself, what's your name right here, brother?
So like I said, Trooper Yapala.
Trooper Yapala. What's your son's name?
My son's name is Trooper Bakwaya.
Trooper Bakwaya. Please be seated. This brother right here takes care of his son. And there's brothers like you in California. It's like the warrior in California. You get up and take care of a son out there. It requires your full effort. It requires your full skill and manhood. And you do it. And you say not a word about it.
Nah, sir.
You understand? That's what it means. Robert tell you how y'all shine. You say not a word. You're a real man. You're a real man. You're better than Donald Trump. You're better than the president. Never forget that. Siempre recuerda siempre. Always remember, you're better than the president. Please. Most High in Christ, throughout the captain. I'm sorry. I think I'm good to go for now. I appreciate it. Do you think, Lord? Do you think? You might as well give it to me, Zaya. What the hell? You went through all the trouble. Go ahead. Get the Zaya. I can handle these braids. Somehow he's more handsome. How did he get more handsome? I didn't know it was possible. Sisters, bring him up here. Let the sisters see him. Can you get him on camera? Sisters, he done got more handsome for you. You ain't know it could happen, did you? He done got even you was shocked. So I know when you got it done, you looked at the man and said, well, goddamn. Somehow they got more handsome. Give him a hand. Well done. Good job, brother. I'm proud of you. Good job. No sweat. Go ahead. Please, next. Paratazar, did I get you? I need to get Paratazar in Hazaha. Go ahead. Let me get him.
Salakia, sir.
Sorry, 1 second, Paratazar. Shadarak. Officer Shadarak has a son that he devotes his full amount of skill and attention to. And he is worthy to be praised. And so are you, brother. You're a real man. And Shadarak is a real man. Please, go ahead, Paratazar, you got it.
Oh, Khan. Salakia, sir, if I may, I just need how to articulate the scripture right here in Proverbs chapter 14, verse 12. And if I may, there is a Salakia, there is a way which seeth right unto a man, but the end therefore are the ways of death.
I'll break it down for you, brother. I appreciate the question. What this scripture is about is not, I'm going to try to say it in the best way for you to understand. There are so many people that have to be less confident in their gut feelings. Right. You understand? Now, this is difficult because this seems like the one thing in life that's true is your gut. You know what I mean? When I say gut, meaning, you say to yourself, you know what? I think I should marry this woman. I think everything is going to be all right. You have to lose confidence in yourself to let the Most High make your decisions. The problem is you have a lot of confidence in your own decision making, no matter how much you fail, right? Like no one ever says, well, damn, I make mistakes every day. Let me stop making decisions. No, you're going to make them again. You trust yourself again. You trust yourself no matter what your record is. You trust yourself. Look at a woman. A woman just knows she knows who she should have sex with. She knows. I got a feeling this time about this one. This one is going to work out. This one, I know in the past, she says, you know what? The problem was when I had sex with all those bad men, that was because there were no good men. That's what they say. Aisha. They say, there are no good men. You know what that means? There are no good men. I've had sex with so many men and thought they were good, and they weren't, which means there are no good men. You hear the logic in that? Isn't it more logical that you choose wrong? But in that broad's mind, it makes more sense that good men don't exist. It makes more sense to her. It's like saying every time I go to the market, I pick a watermelon and it's disgusting. There are no such thing as good watermelons. Good watermelons don't exist. Maybe you don't know how to pick a watermelon. You ain't from the South. Who's from the South in here? You don't know how to tap the bottom and look at that little line on the. You don't know what the hell I'm talking about. You know, you a Judite, and you know how to. Levi, you know too. You don't know how to pick a watermelon. I can pick a watermelon blind. You don't know how. It's not that there are no good men. You just don't know how to pick them. You lean on your own understanding, and there is a way that seems right to a man. It seems like this is a good idea, but this is truly the path to destruction. So what do? You need counselors up. In the multitude of counselors, objectives are achieved. You need outside help. You're like a man that goes to court and defends yourself. You trust yourself. You don't trust the lawyer. You trust yourself. You're going to jail. Everyone understands. Please, come on, warrior.
Yeah, just briefly, sir. If I may, since you touched on it, because I've been craving watermelon for the last couple of weeks, sir. If anyone can help me with that question, I was under the impression dark green lines, and as far as the sound, I have no clue.
Well, let me help you, since I am from the tribe of Judah, and I know a good watermelon by smelling it. A good watermelon, you want the dark green rind, and you want a spot on the bottom that's light. A light spot on the bottom means it's heavy. And it's on the ground and it's heavy. And because it's so heavy, that means it's full of water, which means it's full of sugar, which means Everybody understand?
The water, sir.
The water. I threw that in for free. That's not even about the Bible. That's just some of my insight from living on this planet and eating a ton of watermelon. Give it a hand. Go ahead, Levi. You know about it too. You want to break the watermelon down or something?
Nah,
okay,
something else. You broke it down out of one. One side
No
correct.
sweat.
I have a question out of one, and
Go ahead.
I have a question in Isaiah, the 53rd chapter, verse 11.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so like a verse. Damn it, I just lost it out of one. I have another question. I'll hit you with it real quick, and then I'll find the scripture I was looking for.
Mm-hmm.
In Exodus, the 21st chapter, verse 4, you broke this down, I believe, Monday. You summarized it to say that this was about death.
Mm-hmm.
If you can give me a breakdown on it line by line, out of one, Baba Kishar.
No problem. How long is it?
It's just 2 verses, sir.
Go ahead.
Exodus, the 21st chapter, verse 4. If his master have given him a wife, and she have borne him sons or daughters, the wife and her children shall be her masters, and he shall go out by himself.
All you need is the first part. What did the first part say?
If his master have given him a wife.
That's all you need. Meaning he went out, he hired this woman to be this man's wife. So in essence, he's the father of this marriage. You know how usually in a marriage agreement it's done between fathers. But when you're very poor, the master handles the marriage agreements because you're so poor. So now you work for him. Now, if you didn't have a master, your father would decide who you marry. Your father would say, this woman, you're going to marry this woman, right? That's what happened in the book of Tobit. But in this case, when you're suffering in poverty, your master will take the place of the father. In slavery in the South, we would even call the slave master what? Who knows? Who've heard in history? Big Daddy. That was his name, Big Daddy. Big Daddy, he was the white man that lived in the house, that arranged all the marriages, that fed us, that told us to go to church and learn about how great he was. So this is the same premise in the Bible, in that you are poor, and because you're poor, you only have this wife because your master went out and got this wife. So when you have children, guess what? The children belong to the master. Belong to him, meaning what? They work on his farm. They work off the debt that you have from him feeding you, clothing you, and housing you. That's the point. This is how Israel worked before Jesus Christ. Before Jesus Christ, Israel worked on a class system. I believe the UK works on this system to this day. It's hard to understand here in America because America supposedly does not work on a class system anymore, even though America is absolutely still on a class system today. And the rich and powerful decide who becomes president. The rich and powerful. But it's not in your face the way it is in England. But the rich rule. So they decide who you marry, and then you owe them. And the children owe them because all of you are eating from their money, from their wealth. You get my point? During the end of slavery, after the end of Civil War, Texas was the last place to find out. Texas continued slavery after Civil War, a long time afterwards. Until finally one day the military came, the federal government came, and the slaves, they went and said slaves are free. You know what the masters did? The masters turned them out, which is where that term comes from. They get turned out. They turned them out the way you would turn out cattle on a field. They said, go. Now, I live here in this house. My garden is here. My food is here. My shelter from the rain is here. Big Daddy said, leave. We all got turned out. And the slaves are outside of the plantation, standing there, guess what? Doing what? Can I come back? Because I live there in that hut, in that little shelter. And the collard greens I grow are around that house. And the sweet potatoes I grow are there. I don't want to get turned out. That's where I live. You needed him. You needed that house. You needed those sweet potatoes and collard greens that you grew around your little house, or else you starved to death. That's why he had so much power. You understand? That's how they became give him a hand. That's where it came from. They said, can I come back? They said, all right, I'll let you come back, but I'm not going to pay you. I'll give you a share of the crops that you grow. And then we just, sustained ourselves on the bare minimum. I think till right now. I think till what's happening right now in the South. Everyone understands.
And then, of course, those who didn't do that, they passed vagrancy laws and found excuses to lock us up.
Those that didn't do that, they said, you didn't come back to, when we, you didn't come back, you're walking around, you're a vagrant, you're jaywalking, you're loitering. They wouldn't pass laws to make sure you could be a slave. Show me that picture that I sent you from Yatazak. Let me tell you how the white man, our oppressor, is the devil that the Bible speaks of. There are so many adjectives I could use about our oppressor. They would all be appropriate. They would all be insults, and they would all be appropriate. But let me give you one that I don't appreciate myself. Let me show you the picture. It's a picture.
Like, so which picture?
I just sent it just now today, as we were in class.
The pumpkin?
Yes.
Count.
Let me tell you another adjective that I rarely use about our oppressor that Donald Trump is going to inspire me to use more. Let me show you something here.
1 second.
Whenever you have it, you can read it out. You can play it.
I just had to email to myself real quick.
Take your time.
While I do that, quick shout out to Houston,
Go ahead.
Trinidad.
Go ahead, brother. You got it. Go ahead. Do your thing.
Chicago.
Give a shout out to who?
Houston.
Give
Trinidad.
Houston a hand. Give Trinidad a hand.
Chicago in the building.
Give Chi-Town a hand. Go ahead.
And Atlanta in here with us.
Give Atlanta the Brave a hand. Let me tell you something else. Captain Yatazak out of Houston, Texas, and all the cities round about, I asked him to send me a picture today from the market from today. You know what you can buy today in that market for pennies on the dollar? That. You could buy that today. You know what white people do with that? Throw it in the trash. You devils are ungrateful for what the Hispanics do for you.
Right.
You are ungrateful. You ungrateful bastards.
Right.
Pendejo. You are absolutely ungrateful. Are you telling me that the economy needs all of this work? Put it back where you can go into the market and buy food and throw it in the trash after you carve a face in it. You're ungrateful. You hate the Hispanics. Let me break some. Hold your point 1 second now. Let me break something down for you. The Hispanics are going to pick more pumpkins.
Right.
They're going to pick more strawberries. They're going to pick more grapes. You know why? Because now that Donald Trump arrests everyone, they're going to make new jails. Like they've already announced it. They're going to make all these new private prisons to house all of the Hispanics. And once you put them in jail, what can you do with them? Please, Asher.
Free labor.
Then you have free labor according to the 13th Amendment of the United States Constitution. Now that they're in prison, you solve the labor crisis. Someone Google and ask Alexa or ask your phone, is America in a labor crisis right now? You're going to find out that America is in a labor crisis. Things are going to cost more because they don't have enough Hispanics in the field. They're about to get in the field. They're going to get in that field because they're going to arrest everyone. But they're not sending them to Mexico. They're not sending them back to Venezuela. They're going to send them to Alabama, Mississippi, Florida, and California, and upstate New York. And they're going to make the biggest pumpkins in the world for you devils to carve a face in it and throw it in the trash. Do you thinking on the border town? Where Yashikar, where are you from? Is Yashikar in here?
He's not here yet, sir.
Where is Yashikar from? In Mexico. I forget the name of this town he's from. Tell someone to type that in. The town that Yashikar, Bun Yashikar is from. Do you think they can afford to carve a face in a 10-pound, 15-pound pumpkin and throw it in the trash? They're starving to death. Their children cry at night because they don't have food. Asher, please.
That's how America got rich the first time, with free labor.
Give him a hand. I hope you heard what he said without the microphone. Yeah, Asher, Venezuela, Nicaragua, you're about to go through what the tribe of Judah went through, so-called black people. You're going into the fields. You're going to need your cunning. You're going to need your wits, and you're going to need the Lord our God. But together, we're going to make it. Paratazar.
Salakia, sir, if I may, you dropping it so heavy because a lot of people don't know. My diet changed. So I'm talking about in 2009, 2010. During Halloween, so on and so forth, a lot of people had pumpkins outside of their apartments. So I was collecting those pumpkins to eat because my diet changed. And those, you know what I'm saying, those people was going to throw away the pumpkin. I say, yo, don't throw the pumpkins because I eat it. And I got other people that would eat. You know, they have different, not only those type of pumpkins, they would have the I think, you know what I'm saying, the different type, all those different. And I was taking all those pumpkins off their hands because I was like, this is free food for me to eat. And they would just, a couple of them don't carve their faces in the pumpkins. They would just draw the faces on the pumpkins. And I was taking them. I had a whole bunch of pumpkins because they was going to throw it away. So a lot of people don't realize that a lot of, you know what I'm saying, a lot of people that they diet change and they can't, you know what I'm saying, they can't eat the way that they eat. And we just go around the neighborhood and just collect the pumpkins off they, come because I ain't got no money, but during Halloween and Thanksgiving, I would just collect all the pumpkins, or you know what I'm saying, acorn pumpkins, the acorn pumpkins, and just eat.
Can you imagine how ungrateful white people are? That they live the kind of life where you come and get their trash, and yet they hate Hispanics. You wouldn't have pumpkins if not for Hispanics. You wouldn't have any of that. It'll cost so much money that you'd have to eat it. Do you understand? But it's so cheap. I saw them in HEB Market in Austin, Texas last week for $2. That pumpkin. It was before Halloween. $2. 1 second now. $2. You ungrateful pendejo. You're an evil, disgusting bastard. You don't appreciate them. You aren't grateful to the Hispanics for the reason that you can afford to throw away food, to throw it in the trash. Do I need to go to Manhattan and go into one of these dumpsters in Manhattan and see the bounty of food that they throw away at the end of every night in a Manhattan restaurant? You know why you can throw that away? Yashakar.
Right.
Naphtali, Asher, the Venezuelans, the Mexicans, the Nicaraguans. That's why you can just toss food in the trash. You are an ungrateful bastard. Let's move on.
We visited the town that Officer Yashkar is from.
Where are you from, Yashakar?
And he may have just joined us.
That's it right there. Pronounce that for me.
Salakia.
Go ahead, Yashakar.
Salakia, mi general.
Nombre de
Abashesh Brakata, mi general.
Sí. Go ahead.
Disculpe, I'm unable to join on camera, sir. I'm still driving. I've been driving since 3 in the morning, sir. But I'm from Reynosa, Tamaulipas. That's where my familia is from.
Reynosa, Tamaulipas.
Cáncer, Tamaulipas.
Tamaulipas. Reynosa, Tamaulipas. Well, I want to thank you, brother, and thank every son of Yashakar, brother, for coming over here and being the only way that white people could thrive and eat and survive and still not being appreciated. I want to thank you. Just know, every black man thanks the Mexicans, brother. Every black man thanks the Venezuelans, the Nicaraguans. Give me some more tribes.
Guatemalans,
the Brazilians. Every black man, we thank you, man. We thank you. The white man, the oppressor, he'll never thank you.
Right.
But we're going to need each other.
Right.
We're going to need each other. And don't worry. There are ways to get around American laws that try to deport you. Don't worry about that. Black people know how to work the system here.
Damn right.
We've been doing it a long time. Ephraim, you know how to work this thing, right?
Damn
you know how to find a way to work around this system and find a way to survive. We're going to teach it to our brothers who don't know this system. We know how to do it. We know how to get this system, brother, and make it sing. We know how to do it, and we're going to teach it to all of our brothers who are the so-called Latinos, so-called Hispanics. I got to move on so I can get into how much of a vagina Donald Trump is. In the back, I had someone's hand up. Please.
So I wanted a breakdown, if I may, out of one of Deuteronomy, the 25th chapter, verse 11.
Go ahead.
When men strive together one with another, and the wife of the one draweth near for to deliver her husband out of the hand of him that smiteth him, and putteth forth her hand, and taketh him by the secrets. Verse 12. Then thou shalt cut off her hand, thine eye shall not pity her. If I may, sir, my rib had asked me that question. Basically, I had told her this. It is so that women know their place in society, because it could be her losing her life by getting in men affairs, brothers warring together. So I wanted to get a breakdown on this out of one, if I may.
Okay, you're a little off the point because of something you're missing in the breakdown. Go ahead and read it. I'm sorry, Ephraim in the back.
I was gonna say, like, I believe the part that he overlooked is that if you were to damage another man in the stones, then he can't reproduce. So as a result, from your woman preventing that man from having a legacy is why the penalty is so heavy.
That's the integral part. The woman is not just hitting you in the face, kicking you. The woman went and on purpose injured you in your scrotum, which is a terrible thing, right? Which is your most sensitive of areas. And if you get hurt in that, in biblical law, you couldn't be a priest. You couldn't come into the temple if you were damaged in the stones, or what we would call today the scrotum. It's such a serious injury. When these two brothers that are fighting, if you don't get involved, they'll be friends tomorrow.
Right.
Which is the point. The point is not to keep a woman in her place. That's not a point, because of course they could have said, if you hit him on the top of the head, if you kick him, then you have to have your hand cut off. It has nothing to do with her being out of place. It has to do with her doing lifelong damage in a fight that these two drunks will make up tomorrow.
Right.
Because more than likely they're drunk. You understand? You got two cats, they're fighting each other. Why are they fighting? Because they're drunk. That's it. They're drunk and they're fighting, and your wife comes and damages him forever because she's in love with you. I'm good to go, warrior. I'm perfect right now. For now, I appreciate you. Don't do that. These brothers who are fighting, they'll be friends tomorrow. They'll make up. Your wife comes and ruins everything. Let me give you where it happens all the time. The same spirit, but different in context. You have an argument with someone, but you call your cousin, you call your husband, you call your friends, and they come to your job or your school and they kill this person. This happens all the time. These two people are fighting in school or fighting on the bus or fighting at some job. But the problem is some woman, she called her husband or her cousins or her, friends. They come to the job and they murder the man that she got in an argument with at work. He's dead and they go to jail for the rest of her life. What does the woman do? I didn't even know that any of that was going to happen. The problem with women in a conflict, women don't. Who was here today in class and could give me the perfect answer that I could not say you're wrong with? Captain? Give him a damn hand. That's how he got his rank. Women are children, and they do not understand the consequences of their actions. Yes, some man insulted you on the bus. I know it happened. Some man insulted you on the bus. So should you call your friends, your cousins, your brothers, and to bring AK-47s down to the job or the school to murder the person that you got in an argument with? Women don't understand consequences, so they do it. Can you come down here? Because this nigga don't know who he effing with. You did this to me. And you, of course, because you're Captain Saberho, and this is your sister. Oh, you brothers. Raise your hand if you a brother. If you're a brother to a younger sister. I've been there. Oh, my goodness. I think I was 16 when I said, you know what? I'm not doing this anymore. I think I'm done with this. Okay? I remember being 16 though. I done had about 5 of these. She keep having sex with these cats. You know what? I think I'm done. I think I'm going to stay out of here. I remember, I'm going to give you a personal story. FBI, turn off the camera. I was 17. I come into my house and this cat said he raped my sister. My sister, now he's at the house. I come home, they said he raped her. I said, what? I went crazy. I went and bought a mask. I went and found out where he played basketball to go and unalive him. My father came down and he said, you don't know what's happening. You should stop. You're being stupid. I'm still plotting out the unaliving. And then come to find out it was all a lie. She just had sex with the cat, but she didn't want her best friend to know about it because this was her best friend's man. And I remember going, I'm done. I know I need to save her because that's my sister. But then I realized maybe my sister is the villain. And I should not go and murder some man simply because my sister got caught having sex with her best friend's man. I should probably chill. I know your sister came in there with a black eye. Oh, shit. Oh, he hit her, didn't he? You hit my, oh, she got a black. It's time to kill everybody, isn't it? It's time to murder everybody, everyone, kill him. Look a little deeper into it, young brother. You should see him. You should see what the licks he got. Your sister gives as much as she gets. You understand? Your sister gives as good as she gets. Then after you murder him, you'll find out she hit him first. She punched him in the face. You're in jail. Women, stay out of it because you don't understand the repercussions of your actions. These brothers are fighting today. We'll have a council. They'll make up and be hugging and drinking with each other, fighting somebody else tomorrow. Everybody understand. That's the point, Levi. That's the not, to keep her down or make sure she's out of her place, but because she doesn't understand that her actions have repercussions.
The water, sir.
The water. Please, próximo pregunta.
Real quick, when a brother asks online, Mathumyad Banyashakar, Salaki, if I may, are the people of the Little Diomede Island Israelites or heathens?
The little what?
The Little Diomede Island. I looked it up real quick.
That is. Go ahead.
I looked it up real quick.
Please,
these
then out your
islands. It's these little islands off Alaska, so I think they're Eskimos up there.
I was gonna go into the Eskimos tonight. Who knows who? Jesus, what's this cat name? Who every white man looks up to, who has a podcast? Joe Rogan. Every white man idolizes Joe Rogan like he is the king of all tough guys. Joe Rogan went and popularized something called cold plunges. Who knows what a cold plunge is? Oh, you must do it to be a real man. The white man thinks he invented being cold. You got the Inuits up there cold as shit thinking, damn, I thought we invented being cold. The white man is so evil that he'll make you think he invented being cold. Or the Eskimo is sitting there with an Inuit ass, cold as hell, wondering, I ain't cold? No, the white man invented getting in cold water and revitalizing your whole self. Donald Trump's followers are a bunch of fake tough guys like Joe Rogan.
Right.
I'm going to go into that as fast as you'll let me.
Right.
A bunch of fake tough guys called Joe Rogan. Ask me the question again. Are they? Who are they? Are they Eskimos?
Yes, sir.
All right. The Eskimos are not Israelites. The Inuits are not Israelites. They're the people of Japheth. The people, they're the same family as the Polynesians, the Hawaiians. That's who they are, but they're not Israelites. No. Okay, if that's your question, that's your answer. Próximo preguntas.
See, your brother asks, Shalom, Lord in Christ, sir. Can I get a general breakdown on Zechariah 1 and 18 through 21, Bob Kashab?
Okay, go ahead.
Zechariah chapter 1 and verse 18. Then I lifted up mine eyes and saw and
What questions do we have?
We have a few, but we're gonna have to cut it off at some point.
Can I do it? When can I get into the topic?
Whenever you're ready, sir.
Any questions I should do? I appreciate you. Let me get more of this if you don't mind, Mr. Strong. Could I get 2 questions or no questions?
Come on. We do 2 more questions.
Thank you. The water. Go ahead. Okay, give me this question and then 2, and then we at the topic. Let's do it.
Come. Then lifted I up mine eyes and saw, and behold, 4 horns. And I said unto the angel that talked with me, what be these? And he answered me, these are the horns which have scattered Judah, Israel, and Jerusalem. And the Lord showed me 4 carpenters. Then said I, what come these to do?
For time's sake, let me just drop it on you, all right? The 4 horns are speaking about those 4 kingdoms that destroyed Israel and Jerusalem. The Persians, the Babylonians, the Greeks, and the Romans. That sounds right. Officers, you can tell me that sounds like that's the breakdown. Who are the 4 carpenters? The 4 carpenters are in Zechariah, the 6th chapter. The 4 carpenters are the horsemen with the red horse, the horsemen with the black horse, the horsemen with the pale and grizzly horse, and there was one more horse. The 4 horsemen. You know what I'm talking about. The 4 horsemen of the so-called apocalypse. Those are the carpenters. All right. The carpenters of Zechariah. Where are we at?
1 and 18.
1 and 18, the carpenters are the 4 horsemen of Zechariah 6. Those are the carpenters. Why? Because they're craftsmen. That's what that, when you translate that word carpenters, it's craftsmen. And they're going to do a job on this place. They're going to perform a work on here. The horseman, that represents famine. Since you didn't appreciate $2 pumpkins that you can throw away and going into a market and having, America has a starvation problem. People die in America because of starvation. What do people die in America about? Come on, say the word.
Violence.
No, not what do people die?
Obesity.
People die in America of obesity. You ungrateful bastard. People aren't dying here from starving. People are dying here from having too much. And you hate the Hispanics? You're dying because you have so much food. And you hate Hispanics. No problem. No sweat. There's a time coming when you're going to starve to death. That time is coming. The Third World War is coming, and all of you ungrateful white people that hated Hispanics, when they're the reason that you're more likely to die from eating too much food as opposed to eating not enough food, you're not going to have food anymore. Because that's one of those horsemen. Famine. Another one, plague. Another, give me the other one. The man that rode the white horse, which is the Israelite school of UPK, growing and thriving and conquering. Then the last horse, which is death. And that's when Jesus Christ returns and gives you your just reward. Oro por tu entendimiento.
Kind out of one kind.
Please, next.
A brother asks, Salakia, sir, if I may, with your grace, could I get a general breakdown of 1 Corinthians 15 and 40?
It'll be my honor to help you out in any way I can, brother. Please go ahead.
1 Corinthians chapter 15 and verse 40. There are also celestial bodies and bodies terrestrial, but the glory of the celestial is one, and the glory of the terrestrial is another.
This is the precept you pull on a Christian that believes that when you die, you become an angel. You do not become an angel when you die, because the glory of the terrestrial is one, and the glory of the celestial is one. They're two different glories, two different jobs that are glorified in their service to God. An angel is celestial. He works in the stars. He gets glory for doing the things that angels do. Your glory is terrestrial. You get glorified for doing the things that people that stand on terra firma do. Terra is actually the Greek name for the earth, terra. The sun's name is Sol. Celestial means the stars. All right. We're different. Angels and people are different. They're not the same thing, which is what this precept is talking about, because at the time, the Apostle Paul had to battle people that were saying that you became an angel when you died. That's what I believe not the Pharisee. It might have been the Pharisees. Is that right, Hazard? The Sadducees, please. I'm fine, Warren. The Sadducee taught that when you died, you became an angel. And Paul had to go out and teach people that you don't. The glory of the celestial is one, and the glory of the terrestrial is another. They're different. You do not become an angel when you die. That's the point. All of this you're going to read is going to give you a foundation to understand reincarnation and to know that you do not become an angel when you die, but you come back. It's all right here. Is this 1 Corinthians 15?
Kind of, sir.
That's where you're going to find that at, young brothers and sisters. Próxima preguntas. Hazard. Please.
20 and 27, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Book of Luke, 20, verse 27.
Mm-hmm.
Then came to him certain of the Sadducees, which deny that there is any resurrection. And they asked him, 28, saying, Master, Moses wrote unto us if any man's brother die having a wife and he die without children, that his brother should take his wife. It's like it's all.
It's all right. No, you on to it about reincarnation. That's more proof that Christ taught reincarnation. They knew he did, and they thought they could confound him with the law of Moses. They couldn't. Reincarnation is true. Dying and becoming an angel is a lie. I gotta move. Next.
Khan. One more question from the chat. Ilazar Ben Yahawada asked, Shalom, Lord in Christ, Alawab, if I could, sir, Salaki, for this late question, can I get a general breakdown on Lamentations 4 and 6?
But we don't have any people that try to that would come against the truth in the chat, do we?
Not right now, so
if we do, let's talk to them too.
Khan.
I'm here to serve. I'm just here to serve, to help you in any way that I can.
I think you scared them off, sir.
Well, I'm at your service. Whatever you might need, I think I have it for you. All right, let's go ahead and get the next question. Whatever your question is, I'll take it.
Khan. Lamentations chapter 4 and verse 6. For the punishment of the iniquity of the daughter of my people is greater than the punishment of the sin of Sodom, that was overthrown as in a moment, and no hands stayed on her.
Keep going.
Verse 7. Her Nazarites were purer than snow. They were whiter than milk.
He just wants me to just break this down solid.
He just asked for verse 6.
Let's go to 5. Go ahead.
So verse 5. They that did feed delicately are desolate in the streets.
This is speaking about Black and Hispanic women. Let me tell you, how a nation's women are treated is the most direct way to decide what kind of men they are. Right? If a nation's women are being raped and destroyed, then that nation has no men to protect those women, which is why so many people, like I described earlier, it's in your nature to fight over a woman because it says something about you. The problem is your nation has so many women that are not worthy of your loyalty. And what you should do is focus on having better women. Fathers should train better women, the kind of women that you can die for.
Right.
Because it's important to have women that you can die for. Everyone understands. This is talking about the destruction of Israel when their women have nothing. They're destroyed. I'll explain. I'll break it down for you just flat and lay it down till the end. Go ahead.
They that were brought up in scarlet embraced dunghills.
They that were brought up in scarlet. Scarlet is red clothing. So imagine that your wife had red clothing. Your daughter, your sister had red clothing, which was expensive. Not as expensive as purple, but it was expensive. Now, what is she in now? A dunghill. Now, dung is cow manure. Now she's out in the fields doing what? Working, milking a cow. Right? That's why the feminist movement is so stupid, like Captain Desariac said. White women are trying to go to work. Right. Black women have been working since Rome, since the Roman Empire. Go look at Sojourner Truth. When she made a poem, one of my favorite poems. I have a long list of poems that I love, but one of my favorite is Am I Not a Woman? Where she said, you lay down a coat on the ground for her to walk over puddles. You help her into a carriage. Am I not a woman? No one throws their coat on the ground for me to walk over. No one helps me to get in a carriage. White women are the ones that were always treated delicately, and their men didn't want them to work. Your grandmothers have been having women's liberation since Greece. They've been in the fields working. Their liberation is to stop working. Is to go home. The woman who at one time was arrayed in beautiful clothing, now her clothing is covered in dung because she's in the fields milking cows and shoveling stables. Continue.
Count out of one count. Verse 6. For the punishment of the iniquity of the daughter of my people.
For the punishment of the iniquity of the daughter of my people. Our sins have brought us to that shoveling and that cow dung. That's why we live in this lower state we live in. Our sins. Understanding that, brother, is to break loose something in your mind that is essential for freedom. It's essential to blame yourself. Blaming yourself is the most important thing in the world. You talk about your own sin. You know that you have sinned. And after you do that, you can blame the white man for everything else. You can make him accountable for everything because you know I don't eat pork. I don't eat shrimp. I don't smoke weed. So now the oppression that is in front of me every day is the fault of the oppressor. But when you're a drug addict, how in the hell are you going to blame white people? You black people are mad as hell about the Kamala Harris laws. Are you going to boycott Christmas? Then you're not mad. Are you going to boycott? When is Thanksgiving? They got to be coming up.
2 weeks.
Oh, I'm gonna wonder how mad you are in 2 weeks, because you're mad now about Kamala Harris's laws. We'll see how mad you are when the pumpkin pies flow like water. We'll see how mad you are, because if you're gonna still have a table full of pumpkin pies and beans, greens, tomatoes, yams, cabs, dog, if you're still doing that, then why should anyone give you the leader of your choice? You're not angry at all. You're going to spend every penny you have celebrating Thanksgiving. If you're not going to boycott Christmas, you're not angry about anything.
Right.
You understand? The sin of the daughter of my people has caused her to be in this lower state. Black and Hispanic women. That's what this is speaking about. Go ahead.
Khan. That was overthrown as in a moment.
She was overthrown like it was a minute, like it was a second. Wiped out. Go ahead.
And no hands stayed on her.
And no hands stayed. For a hand to stay on you is like a hand holds you up. Like it keeps you from falling. No one kept you from falling. You fell. No one made sure you didn't fall in the dirt. No one said, well, she's a woman. Whoa. Let me make sure she doesn't fall. Let me help her into a carriage. No one did that for you. This is the reason why you're sin. Because you prefer Christmas and Valentine's Day to true love. That's why. You would rather have candy and a wedding ring than you would true love. No one holds you up so that you can walk over a puddle. Continue.
Her Nazarites were purer than snow.
She had sons that were pure priests. Nazarite is a priest. He's a particular kind of priest that takes an especially strict law. He vows to never cut his hair and to never drink alcohol. You had priests like that would truly help you. Samson was brought up to be one of those priests, and then he abandoned it. He gave it up. For what? A heathen woman. And what did his father say? Are there no daughters of the sons of Israel that thou wilt choose one of them? Samson didn't choose a black or Hispanic woman. He chose a heathen woman. Our women didn't have anyone to hold them up. Even Samson would not hold them up. Even Samson wouldn't help them get in a carriage. Even Samson wouldn't throw his coat on the ground so they could walk over a puddle. Even he wouldn't do it. Continue.
Khan. They were whiter than milk. They were more ruddy in body than rubies.
The word ruddy means young and strong. The Bible says David was young and ruddy. Ruddy is an old term that just meant you were young and strong. Keep going.
Their polishing was of sapphire.
Keep going. Same thing. Keep going.
Their visage is blacker than a coal.
Keep going.
They are not known in the streets.
Meaning they're poor and suffering and dying, and no one cares about them. They are not known in the streets. No one cares about our women. You black women voted for Kamala Harris, and you just knew that white women were going to stand behind you with a P-word hat on their head and vote along with you. White women don't need abortions. They have money.
Right.
Do you understand? Let me make it simpler. Why are abortions important to black women? That's all I need. Let them answer online if you don't mind. Let a woman answer online. There's a reason that abortions, you already know that black women have more abortions than anyone on the planet. Right next to them are Hispanics. Why? Why are abortions so important and so prevalent in the black and Hispanic community? Can I get one woman online to answer the question? Then I got to get into my topic. Let me have this drink. Teach yourself for a couple of seconds.
God, oh my God. Nobody has yet answered, sir. No one is taking.
Raise your hand. What do you mean? Give her the microphone. What do you mean? You this terrifies you. We
No,
want to
they
hear.
financially don't have any money to take care of the children. I
Give
think
her a
money-
hand. People need to hear you.
That's right.
Because you're telling the truth. There is one reason why abortions are so important to black women. They don't have money to take care of the children. This is why black women should have known that white women were not going to vote for Kamala Harris, because white women don't need abortions, because white women have money. You see that? It's just that simple. Every 4 years, you think white women are going to vote with you over abortion rights. White women say, no, thank you. I'll take the money. You're destroyed. This is about Kamala Harris. This is the perfect precept for Kamala Harris, for the women vote, for the difference between white women and black women and what they choose and what they do and what they don't do. This is an excellent precept. This precept is about black and Hispanic women. Anything else?
Well, sir, that's all we can.
Now let's get into the. Oh, Levi, I knew you were going to do it.
Because real quick, I don't want.
Go ahead.
I just want to hear your thoughts on this.
Please.
Because it's such a disgrace to me what's happening. But he chose it. I'm talking about Mike Tyson and Jake Paul, who's about to fight, I believe, Friday.
Okay,
good
and topic to bring up. Well done. Go ahead.
And the brother, he's an elder now, in age, and he's about to fight this young, devil, 25-year-old
we have
devil.
Alexa in here? Okay, if I say something, Alexa will answer. Okay, keep going, Levi.
No, basically, that's it. That's it. So I just wanted to hear
Who did
your
Mike
thoughts.
Tyson support in the presidential election?
Donald Trump.
Mike Tyson is a staunch supporter of Donald Trump. Alexa, is Mike Tyson a rapist? Alexa, somehow she unplugged herself. I don't know how she did that.
She don't want no part of that one, sir.
She unplugged herself. Mike Tyson, seems like people forgot. I don't know why they would have forgotten. Mike Tyson is a convicted rapist, just like Donald Trump is. Donald Trump was convicted in civil court. Mike Tyson was convicted in criminal court. Mike Tyson did 5 years in jail for rape. Do you have Google on you, perhaps? Go Google that for a second, and I need to move on. Mike Tyson is selling weed now, dressed up like a stupid. Give me Mike Tyson dressed like a bumblebee. Give me that first. Give me big, dopey, rapist Mike Tyson, a bumblebee. Asher.
And he loves birds.
He loves pigeons. Mike Tyson is just a disgusting rapist. If I was in prison with Mike Tyson in the world, I would stab Mike Tyson in the world. Not now, because now I'm a reformed and changed man. Commander General Yohana found me, and I do not do this anymore. But I would find Mike Tyson and put holes in him because he's a rapist. No real man ever respects a rapist.
Right.
None. No real man respects a child molester.
Right.
No real man respects a rapist. There's a code among men.
Right.
And we know that if someone is a rapist or a child molester, we're almost obligated to make sure that they understand that type of behavior is not allowed in our nation. I pray you auto por tu entendimiento. Let me show you. This is who is about to fight Jake Paul. Go ahead and play it, please.
It's just a picture, sir.
That's all you got? That's Mike Tyson there. The video is worse because he's dancing. Mike Tyson is a rapist. For the life of me, I don't know how he doesn't get canceled. Oh, I know. He supports Donald Trump. I get it now. I get it. Why is Mike Tyson worse than Puff Daddy? I mean, why is Puff Daddy? Has Puff Daddy been convicted of rape? Has Puff Daddy is like the enemy of all mankind. Mike Tyson was convicted of raping a woman. You know, I remember when it happened. You know what Farrakhan said? Louis Farrakhan said, I know how you black women are. You lie. you went to that man's room that late at night. You must have wanted sex. Al Sharpton supported Mike Tyson. Louis Farrakhan supported Mike Tyson. The Israelite School of UPK supported that woman. That's what we did at the time. I remember it specifically. He raped some woman, and because that woman was not famous, no one gave it there. Hold your point. No one cared. That woman has never written a book. She has never profited one time from that rape. She has never written a book about it. She has never went on a talk show about it. She made $0, but she went into court and took that stand and said, that man raped me. I went to his room late at night. I was young and stupid, but he was famous Mike Tyson. When I get in there, I said, get off of me. He threw me down on the bed, ripped my clothes off. I said, stop. I scratched him and he raped me. She went to the trial. She never wrote a book. She never sued Mike Tyson financially. Do you understand me? Listen to me carefully. She never took him to civil court and got a penny, ever. Farrakhan supported Mike Tyson. Louis Farrakhan, look it up. Al Sharpton supported Mike Tyson. The UPK supported that woman.
Right.
You are not allowed to have sex with a woman if she says no. I don't give a F if it's 4 a.m. I don't care if it's 2 a.m. Right. If she says no, you cannot have sex with her. It is not manly to force her. It is like murder to force her. That's in the Bible. That's what this sister said to one of David's sons. Do not force me. This poor sister, this man was about to rape this woman in the Bible. And she said, please do not force me, for it is like murder to force a woman. Here you are watching Jake Paul and Mike Tyson, not me. If I was in prison with Mike Tyson, I would put holes in him if I was still in the world.
Okay.
Some of you, I think you're scared of Mike Tyson for some reason.
They scared of this, sir?
Are you scared of? Look at this video. You scared of Mike Tyson still? I don't know what the hell is wrong with you because you're scared. I saw some video where some cat was Bootsy. He was terrified of Mike Tyson in some video. Like Mike Tyson was going to get up and punch him in the face. God is going to be with you if you fight Mike Tyson.
Right.
He's a rapist. I don't care how big or small you are. You have to defend yourself against Mike Tyson. God is going to stand with you. I would love the honor, but I would never ask for it because I'm a different person now. But if I was not a different person, he'd be the kind of person I would have my eye on, Mike Tyson, because he raped that woman. Anything else?
Sir.
Please, Captain.
A quick reference question. Brother had called me about the book of Hosea with the woman, with Hosea with the women of whoredom, which of course is not literal. So Hosea, we know when the Lord said, "Get the woman of whoredoms." So if you could just give a brief breakdown on it. Now, of course, I explained to him that it's not literal, but he was asking about it just to get a breakdown. So I told him I would ask you about it in class.
This is this is for everyone that doesn't know. This is in Hosea, where the Most High said, "Go into that woman and have sex with that whore." I'm paraphrasing. Go and marry you one of the daughters of these whoredoms. Some people don't understand sarcasm, and that's all it is. It's sarcasm. I've used it all the time, probably once a day. A brother calls me, he wants to marry this woman. I say, you shouldn't marry her. Then he says, I'm in love with her. I said, go ahead and marry her then.
Well, the Chris Rock example.
Meaning?
When he said for him to go sleep with Jada Pinkett Smith and get the drugs.
Give him a hand. Wow, I forgot about that. That was also sarcasm. That everybody hated me over that. I heard.
To this day,
I would even know.
To this day,
I didn't even think it was a big deal. So y'all called me and said, "Damn, they hate you over there." I said, "Over what? That was controversial." Yeah, Jada Pinkett. Well, I said that Chris Rock should have sex with Jada Pinkett. Right. He should have sex with her. Lord knows you could if you tried. It is not a difficult accomplishment. He should have sex with her. And then, of course, I can pull a precept where it says that. Like, I can do that. I've been around a few years under Commander Giuliani. There is nothing I say that I can't prove in the Bible. I know you know that by now. Nothing. I wouldn't have said it. I don't speak frivolously. Anything I say, I've thought about it, planned it, and can prove it. That brother should have had sex with Will Smith's wife. He should have did it. He should have done it. That's what he should have done. I can prove it in the Bible that he should have did it. That's sarcasm. I'm teaching you a lesson by saying something so absurd that you don't realize how what you did is more absurd. Do you understand? What Will Smith did is more absurd than my sarcasm. Do you understand? The Most High said this to Hosea. Go ahead and have sex with them whores. Go ahead and do it. Do it. Have sex with them. Enjoy. Go ahead and do it. When you do it, of course, you'll learn why the law says not to have sex with whores. It's sarcasm. He is not telling you to do it. He's saying to do it to crystallize the absurdity of the fact that you will allow whores to be in your nation like this. Go make a baby with one. Go get one pregnant. Go do it. That's the point of Hosea. It's sarcasm. The Most High is not telling us to go have sex with a whore. He is highlighting the absurdity of the fact that we have so many whores. That's the point, please.
Salaga, sir. I remember watching that class live. This was before I came into the school. It never even occurred to me to take that.
I mean, some people it did. I never even thought it was any. It was just another class to me. All right, go ahead. Anything else? We're good to go here. Wrap it up now. Now let's get into Donald Trump. Now we're gonna run this off, Ashar. Right?
I don't want.
What do you have first?
So first we have the story on what we were just talking about, the fact that Donald Trump is a rapist.
Donald Trump is a adjudicated rapist. He raped a woman about 30 years ago. The case had been so old that the district attorney didn't believe that there was enough evidence to criminally convict him. So instead, the woman who he raped took him to civil court. She won in civil court. She won from a jury in a district that was in a place where Donald Trump had supporters. They still said he was guilty of rape. But it was a civil court, so it was called sexual assault in civil court. He's guilty of that. Now, why is that important? Tonight, hopefully, if you're not stupid, I'm going to show you that all of the reasons that people say Donald Trump got elected are lies. Donald Trump was elected for one reason and one reason only. He hates Hispanics, and white people have an inert desire to hate. And that is their sickness, and I'll prove that. Did Donald Trump win because he's manly? No, because he's a rapist. Donald Trump is not manly. He's not a real man. He's a punk who can't even seduce a woman to have sex with him. He can't sweet talk a woman. He can't seduce her. He has to force women to have sex with him because he's like every other white man, a little, insignificant, small man. I pray you understand. Oro por tu entendimiento. They're little, small, and they can't talk a woman into sex. He has $1 billion. He still can't convince a woman to have sex with him, so much so that he has to force a woman. Who is one of his best friends? Mike Tyson. Give me another one that killed himself, allegedly.
Jeffrey Epstein.
Jeffrey Epstein. One of his best friends is Jeffrey Epstein. You can find pictures of him and Jeffrey Epstein partying and plotting on what women they're going to rape. Is Donald Trump manly? Because here's the story. That Donald Trump got elected because men elected him. Because they wanted a real man. Donald Trump is not a real man. I'll give you more proof he's not a real man. You know what I want next?
Count out of one count.
Please. The COVID-19 virus. Who's ever heard of the COVID-19 virus? Everyone who had a death in their family or friend because of COVID-19. Tons of people. Your mothers died. Your grandmothers died. I remember Tazar there were women in Harlem that had their dead husband in their house for 10 days.
Right.
Commanding General Yohana did stories on it.
That's right.
Women lost their husbands, and there were so many dead bodies that the coroner couldn't even pick them up for a week. That happened in Harlem. In Harlem. How many people died during the COVID-19 virus? 1 million American citizens died because of the COVID-19 virus. Who was responsible for the COVID-19 virus?
US President Donald Trump claims to have seen evidence the coronavirus originated in a Wuhan lab, not in a wet market as widely believed. US President Donald Trump claims to have seen evidence the coronavirus originated in a Wuhan lab, not in a wet market as widely believed. Mr. Trump says he's confident the virus came from the Wuhan Institute of Virology, adding that US authorities were examining the issue.
We're looking at exactly where it came.
Please, let me know when you want to stop. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That's all you, sir.
Donald Trump, when he was president, said that contrary to reporting that the COVID-19 virus came from a food market where they sell live animals in Wuhan, China, he said no. He said it came from a laboratory in Wuhan, China. And he called it the China disease. You have that?
Kind of one thing.
He said China on purpose spread this disease to America. He did it in countless interviews. He called it the China disease. He said it came from a laboratory in China. How many people died? 1 million people. Now, is Donald Trump the bastion of masculinity and manhood? Did Donald Trump ever attack China over the COVID-19 virus?
Wow.
Did he send a drone strike and blow up the laboratory that it came from?
Wow.
Did he kill one scientist with the Navy SEALs or Delta Force?
Wow.
Over Donald Trump let 1 million American citizens die at the hand of the Chinese government, and he did nothing about it. No one died. No, there was no attack from America. He's a real man. He's a tough guy. He's good for national security. You're lying to yourself. White people didn't vote for Donald Trump because he's going to bring the strong military back. He did nothing when China killed 1 million people, and he said it came from China. He did nothing about it. So why'd they vote for him? It couldn't have been about national security. It couldn't have been because he's tough and he's going to bring America back, because he didn't even kill one Chinese scientist over 1 million dead American citizens. He's a pussy. He is not strong. He is not tough. He's afraid of the Chinese. Can you prove me wrong? I don't think you can. I think it's impossible to prove me wrong. Please, Asher, please. Please, Ephraim, please.
So I just have an image of him defending, calling the coronavirus the Chinese virus.
Please.
And meanwhile, he's talking about giving money to the Chinese.
Yeah.
For affirmative action.
Yeah, that's where we're going next, and you're right on target. Go ahead, play it.
I had a video pulled up of Don Lemon talking about it, but then Don Lemon made a big deal today about deleting his Twitter account. So I got to find a new one.
All I need is Donald Trump. Everyone knows Donald Trump called the coronavirus the Chinese virus. He said it came from a laboratory. He said it was chemical warfare. Who did he kill over it? You got the Navy SEALs and the Delta Force, all your Joe Rogan people. Did you send any of them over there to China? You're a punk and scared of China. You're scared. Donald Trump is scared of the Chinese. So don't tell me you voted for him because of his military prowess, or he's going to rebuild the military, because 1 million American citizens died at the hand of the China virus, and Donald Trump took no retaliation. He did not blow up the lab. He did not retaliate against China, because Donald Trump is a sissy. So then why did you vote for him? because he was racist, because he hates Mexicans. That's why you voted for him. Keep going, please, Ephraim.
Colonel Khan.
Furthermore, I will direct the Department of Justice to pursue federal civil rights cases against schools that continue to engage in racial discrimination and schools that
Out this week, Donald Trump said that he's going to give reparations to students who have not been given admission into college because of reparation, because of affirmative action. As you know, affirmative action is struck down during during Biden's, I think, presidency. Affirmative action is illegal now. It was legal for 50 years. It was white people claiming to try to make up for all of the laws that were in place that oppressed black people the 50 years before that. But white people fought it and fought it and fought it and fought it, and now affirmative action is illegal. Donald Trump this week said he's going to give reparations to anyone that is a victim of affirmative action. Now, who is a victim of affirmative action? You need to do some research to understand this. I've done it for you already. Affirmative action was struck down by Chinese students to Harvard. Chinese people, not white people. Chinese people sued Ivy League schools saying, we're applying to these schools and you're not letting our students in these schools. You're letting blacks and Hispanics in these schools when our grades and our SAT scores are higher. The university said it's because of affirmative action. The Chinese sued and they won. And that's why affirmative action has now been made illegal, so that more Chinese people can get into Columbia and MIT and Harvard and Yale. Trump did this for the Chinese after the Chinese killed 1 million people with the China virus. Trump is scared of the Chinese up. He's scared of them up. He's a pussy. He's scared. He's nervous about World War III. He's scared. And the Chinese could kill 3 million of us. Donald Trump would never retaliate. He would never attack China. He's going to give them more money and give their little babies college degrees because he's scared of China. Donald Trump is not a real man. You know what was wrong with that election? There were no real men on the ticket.
Right.
You had a woman for the Democrats and a sissy for the Republicans. The UPK stands with real men. Real men would never support pedophiles, child rapists. Donald Trump, 2 days ago, Donald Trump is trying to make a pedophile the secretary of what? Please. A pedophile. This is Donald Trump. This is the manly man that that Joe Rogan loves. Go ahead.
On Wednesday, Donald Trump announced his intent to nominate Republican Congressman Matthew Gaetz to lead the Department of Justice.
The Department of Justice, he's under investigation right now for pedophilia, for having sex with an underage girl. Donald Trump is going to make him the Attorney General of America. Why? Because he's not a real man. Real men wouldn't do that. Real men want to kill over pedophilia. They want to kill over child rape. Donald Trump is a punk up. He's a pussy. Now, why did you vote for him then? When you love America and you love the military and you love the Air Force Marines, you love the flag. Why did you vote for a pedophile who's too scared of the Chinese to attack them? Because he's racist. That's why you voted for him, because he hates Hispanics. I'm not done my proof. It's coming. Keep going. Next.
Colonel Khan. He also hated to pay his workers or to allow them to unionize.
Let me tell you, brothers in New York should know about this. Donald Trump received the endorsement of the Teamsters Union. Now, the Teamsters Union has a Republican for 40 years. The Teamsters Union always supports the Democratic candidate for 40 years. This year, the Teamsters supported Donald Trump. Please play.
Their little 5%. They get another 2%.
This is Donald
Same thing with
about unions. Go ahead.
Unions. That's right. They get their little 5%. They get another 2%. They get another 3%, 4%. Then all of a sudden they're making more money than the people that own the company.
Donald Trump said these unions get 4%, 5%. Then they're making more money than the people that own the company. Donald Trump is against unions. Play the other union clip. He hates unions. Why in the hell would the Teamsters support a president that is anti-union? How is that even possible? He doesn't believe in unions, yet the unions voted for him. Play it.
Did they give overtime? I hated it. I'd get other people, I shouldn't say this, but I'd get other people in, I wouldn't pay. I hated. This is going to lead to a lot more. I think it's going to be economically positive, but I'm not even doing it for that reason. I'm doing it because like the no tax on overtime, it's something so good, but no tax for the seniors. Do we have any seniors?
Donald Trump said, I hate overtime. I hated overtime. I would get other people instead of paying overtime. He'd fire them and hire someone else. Why in the hell would the Teamsters support someone who was against overtime, who was against the unions? Because the Teamsters don't care about the union. They don't care about overtime. They care about him hating Mexicans, hating Venezuelans. That is the only reason that a Teamster could support Donald Trump, because he hates the union. Keep going.
He also is not truly for any conservative causes such as the Second Amendment.
Those of you out there, some of you out there, you gun nuts. I know that. You love guns, don't you? You think that Donald Trump is going to uphold your right to have a gun. Donald Trump supports the Second Amendment. He loves the unions. You think that's the case. This is what Donald Trump said after a mass shooting happened in America. Go ahead.
Take the firearms first and then go to court. We have to do something very decisive. Number one, you can take the guns away immediately from people that you could judge easily are mentally ill, like this guy. You know, the police saw that he was a problem. They didn't take any guns away. Now, that could have been policing. They should have taken them away anyway, whether they had the right or not. A lot of times, by the time you go to court, it takes so long to go to
Heard that. He said, take the guns away, whether you have the right or not. Who supports Donald Trump? Second Amendment lovers, the NRA.
Yep.
Donald Trump said he will take your guns away from you. Why did you vote for him? Because racism is more important than the Second Amendment.
That's right.
Racism is more important than your right to carry a gun. He said he was going to take the guns away. No one cares, Levi, because he hates Hispanics. It supersedes everything else. Keep going, please.
Don't they always say that they'll have their guns taken over their dead body?
Over their dead, out of their cold, dead hands. Until Donald Trump runs, then they're fine with that. Because Donald Trump hates Hispanics, and that's the most important thing. Brothers and sisters, there's a sickness that white people have that even Kamala Harris is not aware of. Commanding General Yohana knows about this sickness. This sickness is their most important quality. It's the thing that drives them more than the love of country, more than the economy, more than the right to bear arms. This sickness rules them. I'm leading to explaining this sickness to you. Keep going.
It also can't be because
I'm doing great.
He's from coming across the border.
Here we go. I told you about Joe Rogan earlier, right? You know who Tony Hinchcliffe is? Tony Hinchcliffe is the devil who made that joke about the chosen people of God, the tribe of Ephraim, the so-called Puerto Ricans. He said that Puerto Rico was a floating pile of garbage. Now, what's the reason that so many people who love Joe Rogan support Donald Trump? Because they want to build a wall to seal up the border. Why does the border need to be sealed? Who knows what they'll say? What's coming across the border? Anyone? Anyone online? I'll take it. What's coming across the border? That's the real reason. Give him a hand. But what will they say is why we have to seal the border up. And what are criminals bringing? What are criminals bringing over the border?
So like a crime?
Drugs.
Drugs.
Fentanyl. The criminals are bringing cocaine over the border. That's why we have to seal up the border, because of the criminals bringing cocaine over the border. Play.
My girlfriend is in Europe. She is so good at staying loyal to me here. She decided to take it on the road. Now, right now, she's in Ibiza at a pool party. So, you know.
Oh, what do you think she's doing?
You hear that voice? That's Tony Hinchcliffe. Yeah. That's the man who said Puerto Rico was a floating pile of garbage. Who else is next to him? Another man, Andrew Schultz, who loves Donald Trump and who wants the crime to stop flowing over the border. We have to stop all of these drugs coming over the border. He's on the same stage. And that is Joe Rogan, who says that the border has to be sealed. We need a wall. Why? Because all of the fentanyl and drugs coming over the border. Play.
Texted me. She's going to be loyal. She's.
Oh, well, that counts. Nobody ever lies on text.
Apparently, FaceTime doesn't work in Europe. You guys ever notice that?
Oh, dude.
Wow.
How long you been with her?
About 1.5 years now.
That's a good run. You tried.
I'm going to be faithful. So,
Shut up. You're in New York City. You're going to do coke and you're going to have a good time. Like a normal person.
Too, Joe.
We want to take, listen carefully. Go ahead.
Oh,
that's a good run. You tried.
I'm going to be faithful. So,
Shut up. You're in New York City. You're going to do coke and you're going to have a good time. Like a normal person.
Too, Joe.
I want to see you do coke and open those fucking eyes up.
You're going to have a good time. You're in New York City. You're going to do coke and you're going to have a good time. You're in New York City. You're going to do coke and you're going to have a good time. Like a normal person.
Too, Joe.
I want to see you do coke and open those fucking eyes up.
All Donald Trump supporters, they were in the green room when he won the election. Everyone up on the stage. They were backstage. Tony Hinchcliffe, Joe Rogan, what's that one, the other devil?
Andrew Schultz.
Andrew Schultz. They were backstage when he won. You know how many videos I found about them talking about doing cocaine? This was just one. I found like 10 of them. White people. If Donald Trump builds a wall, how are you going to get your cocaine? Joe Rogan does cocaine. Tony Hinchcliffe does cocaine. They snort coke. Don't you see that you get your coke because the border doesn't have a wall? So I know that the real reason for you voting for Donald Trump could not have been you wanting to stop drugs from coming into America. You snort cocaine. So then why did you vote for him? Because he hates Hispanics. It could not have been about stopping the drugs from coming over the border, because you do drugs. You snort coke. So then why did you vote for him? Because he's hateful. And that's your sickness.
Right.
He hates Hispanics. Ephraim.
Oh no, I got the
Whatever
next
you
video
want to
ready.
do. Would you want to play another one?
Kind.
Please.
Now this is transitioning into why,
of course,
they did.
Nothing seems to turn white people's cranks of resentment, like thinking black people got something over on us that they didn't deserve. And the deeper belief is that they're inherently undeserving. I believe in the...
What book did she write again?
White Fragility.
She wrote a book. This white woman wrote a book called White Fragility. And in her research, she realized that there is nothing that activates white people more than thinking that black people are getting something over on them. You're getting welfare. You're getting food stamps. You're getting projects, apartments. You're getting affirmative action. There is nothing that activates them more than seeing that you are receiving something. That is the sickness of white people. Let me tell you something, brother. I've tried to understand for, I think, 2 years. I'm going to break it down to you whenever you're ready to play the next one.
White people, when they go to elect someone, when they go to decide who they vote for, they don't vote for the person that will do something good for them. They vote for the person that will do something bad to someone else. And for 2 years, I've been asking Commanding General Yohana, what is that? Meaning this. I can see voting for someone that will give me welfare. Meaning I'm poor, so I need welfare. I'm poor, so I need a job. But I don't understand voting for someone simply because he'll take your job from you, because he'll cut off welfare. Meaning white people don't vote for someone saying, well, he's going to give me welfare. He's going to give me money. White people vote for the candidate that is going to deport you, that is going to kick you out of your house, that is going to take away your food stamps. And for 2 years, I've been trying to think, how does that help them? Healthcare. Healthcare. Do you know there are studies that have been done that say that white people constantly vote against universal healthcare, even though if they voted for it, they would get it. They vote against getting healthcare because they don't want you to get it. So they're against it. They vote against, for years, your whole life, you've heard about how there needs to be welfare reform, haven't you? You should get off of welfare. Do you know that welfare costs the American government a half of a penny to every American citizen? You can look that up. It's a half of a penny. White people are the population that is most on welfare. Do you understand that? White people are the majority of welfare recipients. White people walk into a voting booth and vote against welfare when they're on it. Because in their mind, it is more important to them that you are cut off of welfare. That's more important than even them getting it. This is their sickness. Their sickness is that they derive pleasure from other people's pain. They do not get pleasure from them receiving pleasure. So if you say white people will give you free health care, white people are going to always vote against that. White people will give you free housing. I'm against it. Why? Because I know niggers will get it and spics will get it. They will vote against it because they derive pleasure from your pain. Please continue.
Sir, this next video is Rick Santorum while he was campaigning for president 12 years ago.
Please.
It just keeps expanding. I was in Indianola a few months ago, and I was talking to someone who works at the Department of Public Welfare here, and she told me that the state of Iowa is going to get fined if they don't sign up more people under the Medicaid program. They're just pushing harder and harder to get more and more of you dependent upon them so they can get your vote. That's what the bottom line is. I don't want to make people's lives better by giving them somebody else's money. I want to give them.
Well done. Well done. You wondering why Donald Trump racism won the White House? Where is he at?
He's in Iowa, sir.
Do you know how many poor white people are in Iowa? Poor white people in Kentucky, poor white people in West Virginia. They're going to vote against welfare because black people will get it too. Give me South Carolina. I'm going to try to run through these for a taste, all right? If you need to leave, of course, get the hell out. White people, there is nothing stronger than hatred. Hatred for Hispanics and black people, they don't have a stronger urge. It's stronger than their urge to eat themselves or to drink or to have their own money. Their strongest urge is to hate blacks and Hispanics. This cat here, read that, please, Ephraim.
Did you know in South Carolina you didn't have to pass the bar to practice law until black Americans started graduating from law schools?
In 1951, before 1951, if you went to law school in South Carolina, one of the privileges was you did not have to take the bar. The bar exam is the test that every lawyer has to take to be able to be accepted by the court to be a lawyer. Before 1951, if you went to law school,
In South Carolina, you didn't have to take the bar. Law school was good enough. Then this nigga decided to go to law school and read and go ahead and play.
This time, South Carolina had a practice by which, it was known as the diploma privilege. If you had graduated from a law school in South Carolina, you didn't have to take the state bar examination. You were admitted under what became popularly known as the diploma privilege. Now, when the law school at South Carolina State was created, the officials decided, well, look, we've got to do something about this diploma privilege, and so they persuaded the legislature to enact a law requiring the passing of the bar examination by all law school graduates. And so I tell young people, anybody who has graduated since 1951, that if you had to take the bar examination, you can, of course, blame me.
One Negro was going to be a lawyer without taking the bar exam. They changed the law and made every white man take the bar exam. Do you know they struck down affirmative action Act? 5% of the lawyers in America are black. 5%. Do you know how many black people are in Harvard and in Yale? 5%. 5% up. Over that 5%, they struck down affirmative action. Over 5%. It is more important to them that those 5% not go to college than it is that a white man has a harder job getting in college. They would rather have white people suffer more than have black people suffer less. That's how deep their hatred is, Ak. It's something that you don't understand because you're not like that, because you're kind people. White people would rather put you in pain than them be in pleasure. They derive pleasure from your pain. The bar exam, every white man has to take the bar exam now in South Carolina, just so they could stop this one nigger from being a lawyer without taking a bar exam. It's worthy of them. It's worth it to them. Please keep going.
But I want. Sir, next we have this white supremacist having dinner explaining why he's voting for Trump.
This is before the Trump election. This is him explaining why. Keep going.
I don't know how it is you voted for Donald Trump when you're so into facts, because his entire campaign is not based in facts. It was all based in propaganda and emotion.
I voted for Donald Trump for one reason only. His policies, if implemented, would slow the dispossession of whites in the United States. If you were to deport all illegal immigrants, if you were to think very hard about letting in any Muslims, all of this would slow the rate at which whites are becoming a minority.
Why are you so worried about the white dispossession of America?
Because I want my people to survive. Is that so strange? We don't control China. We don't control any place where whites are not a majority. And if we become a minority, we will not control our own destiny anymore.
I grew up in this country.
That's why they did it. It was not about the economy. It was not because he's a real man. It was not because he's pro-military. It was because white people knew he would hurt Hispanics. And that is all they care about. Next.
Now we have that same comedian, Andrew Schultz, telling us.
Now, this is Andrew Schultz. Andrew Schultz is another Joe Rogan comedian. You brothers don't know this, but white men love Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan is like the king of all white people. White men. They love him. He is another pussy, Joe Rogan. He's a sissy. He is not masculine. He thinks he invented being cold. He thinks he invented jumping into cold water. He thinks he invented, the martial arts. All of them. America, Joe Rogan has exposed a ton of fake tough guys in white male culture. White male culture is full of fake tough guy, jiu-jitsu, Navy SEAL, fake tough guys. And there's so many of them. And Joe Rogan makes all of them think that they're tactical. All of them think they're tactical warriors when they're people that would be bullied if they were anywhere around real men. Let me show you this. This is Andrew Schultz. Now this happened after the election, right? Charlemagne the God, who's another punk. Charlemagne the God, who is weak and effeminate. He, of course, is best friends with this man named Andrew Schultz. And Charlemagne is going to say, now that Donald Trump won, the thing that he promised that you wanted, you've got to make sure he does it. Now, this you got to watch closely because Andrew Schultz is going to say, that's right, deport the economy. He's going to start to say deportations, but he knows it sounds racist. So he'll say, get the economy together, when really what he wants is deportations. Donald Trump won because of the deportations, because they lust over the deportations, because they lust over your pain, you losing your family, you losing your wife and your children. He's going to stop saying it, and then he's going to get right back to it. Go ahead and play.
Right? Yeah. Now is the time for everybody who voted for Trump, and I would say the same thing if Kamala wins. Everybody who voted for Trump, you have to push him to do everything he promised he was going to do. This is you can't let democracy don't end once the person you vote for gets inside the White House. Y'all have to constantly push him to do the things that you want him to do.
To stop the foreign wars.
Oh no, stop right there. Stop the foreign wars. Play it again.
Stop the foreign wars.
Rewind.
Democracy don't end once the person you vote for gets inside the White House. Y'all have to constantly push him to do the things that you want him to do.
To stop the foreign wars.
Again.
To do the things that you want him to do.
To stop the foreign wars.
To do the things that you want him to do.
To stop the foreign wars.
What's the thing he wants them to do? Deport them. That's what he cares. He doesn't give a F about stopping foreign wars. He cares about the deportation. That deportation, the word, the thought of it, the thought of armies of soldiers coming in your house, going into the ghettos, ripping you out of your homes, gives them pleasure. They love it, but they know how it sounds. Deport, stop the foreign wars. Keep playing.
Deport the criminals. I would like a pathway to citizenship for the people who are here illegally but have been working jobs and have families. And I think that
all he wants is to turn the news on and see Mexicans being deported, Venezuelans being deported. Who ever heard about the Venezuelans taking over the apartment buildings in Aurora, Illinois? You heard about that? The Venezuelan gangs? That never happened. That didn't exist. Who ever heard about the Haitians eating the cats and the dogs? That never happened. Do I need to ask Alexa? You can do it on your phone if you want. That never happened. There were no Venezuelan gangs that ever took over any apartment building. Put it in your phone and ask your phone. Do white people have phones? Can they Google it? They know it never happened. They don't care that it never happened. White people know that Haitians didn't eat cats and dogs. They don't care that it never happened. All they care about is the fact that Donald Trump said it means he hates Haitians. And that's good enough for them because they need the feeling of hurting Haitians. It gives them pleasure. Anything else?
Khan. We have them addressing the new Secretary of State, I believe, addressing how he would actually handle this. Not just state, Salakia.
Go ahead. How many more do we have?
About 3 more.
Go ahead.
It's chilling what he just said.
Is there a way to carry out mass deportation without separating families?
Of course there is.
Families can be deported together.
You realize that when he says yes,
They said, listen, well, the last time Donald Trump was in the White House, you separated families, meaning the babies were born in America, so they stayed here. The mother was deported. How will you keep the family together? Of course we can keep the family together. We'll deport all of them. That's who we picked. That's what white people wanted. White people want all of you to leave. How do I know? Tony Hinchcliffe made a joke about Puerto Rico. That joke made him get elected. That joke didn't hurt. That joke about Puerto Rico helped. Tony Hinchcliffe said Puerto Rico is a floating pile of garbage. Well, Puerto Ricans are American citizens. They're American citizens. After that joke, he went up in the polls. He wiped that bitch out because of the joke. Why? Because it proved that you would also hurt Americans who are Hispanic. You'll hurt them too. You're the candidate for me. Because white people, their sickness is that they don't get pleasure from them getting money, from them having an economy, from them having a strong military. They get pleasure from hurting other people. That's their sickness. Anything else? Come.
You're a Mexican American.
Yes.
What do you think about Trump's border policy?
I love it. I love it. I'm 100% for it.
Do you know anybody that crossed the border without applying for green card?
Oh, yes. Unfortunately, I have met family members that did. Cousins, nephews, nieces.
Because those people might be deported if Donald Trump wins.
That's okay. That's okay.
How long have they been here for?
Years, like 20, some like 30 years.
And so you think the members of your own family who've been here for 30 years should be deported?
Yeah. Yes. I mean, they can be deported, but they can also apply to come back again to the United States.
Have you ever heard of the 1994 crime bill? Hillary Clinton was maligned because she voted for the 1994 crime bill, which is the crime bill that put all of your uncles in jail for 30 years, which is the crime bill that built all the private prisons. Who else voted for the crime bill? Asher?
Biden.
Who else? Levi?
Black people.
Every black congressman, every last one. Al Sharpton supported it. Rangel, right here around the corner in Harlem, he supported it. Who else? The mayor of New York, the black mayor of New York, every black congressman supported the crime bill that arrested black people. Every last one. Here's something you don't know about racism. Black people and Hispanics learn hatred of themselves, and they will support something that's racist against themselves. If you're black, you have to understand that. Who supported stop and frisk? Black people. Black congressmen, black councilmen, the governors and the government of black society wanted it. They asked for it. They said, we need the police. And the police came in. And then when the police beat you to death, let me give you the myth. Good black people think that when you bring in the cops, they're only going to arrest the bad black people. Good Mexicans think when the INS comes in, they're only going to deport the bad Mexicans. Come to find out, they beat all of us. They arrest all of us. You know why you got pulled over so much? And you know why stop and frisk had to get your ID? Raise your hand if a cop has just said, you're walking down the street, a cop says, show me your ID. While you're walking, raise your hand. Who was the cop looking for? How's it hot? Well, did he arrest you? Did he arrest you every time? No, he didn't. So who was he looking for? He was looking for the bad West Indians. Right. He wasn't looking for you. But he had to, well, you were a bad one at that time. I get the point. But you get the point. Meaning, black people, Hispanics, we watch TV too, and we learn to hate ourselves. And we think that the police will come in here and get rid of all of the drug dealing black people. Get rid of all of the drug dealing Mexicans. What we don't know because we're stupid is that we're all the same to white people. White people do not differentiate between a drug dealing black person and a non-drug dealing black person. You understand? Fernando Castile, they had to make sure he didn't have a gun. Why? Because bad black people do bad things with guns. Fernando Castile had a gun permit. He's dead because it's the same to them in the back.
So, sir, if I may, like the 5 Memphis cops that beat down that brother.
Give him a hand.
And it was part of the police department. And not one stop to say this is wrong.
No, because it's not. Because cops are not trying to differentiate between do you have a mental illness? Or are you a drug dealer? You're black. Even black cops think like that. Well, guess what? If you're wondering why Mexicans voted for Donald Trump, they're the same as the black cops that beat that poor black man in Memphis. They hate black people too. They're racist too, because they've learned the same illness from white people. Keep going.
So the man who runs the Lincoln Project, which is a Republican group that's against Trump, describes how this is actually the strategy.
This is the cat who is a political advocate. He's a strategist. This cat right here. Go ahead.
He essentially told black people, Latino members are taking your job, and he told Latinos, I'll protect you from Black Lives Matters. Do you think that was an effective dynamic?
Yeah, I don't think there's any question that it was. I think there's not a new dynamic. I think one of the great truisms of politics that you only win by addition has been proven untrue in the Trump era. He definitely proved that in 2016 by consciously polarizing the electorate and winning the Electoral College. He literally won by subtraction. So in 2020, you saw the build the wall references, the anti-Mexico references dramatically decline, and it went towards a more law and order message in the wake of the George Floyd murder, because they knew that they needed an increasing share of the Latino vote. This time, I think what they were seeing was that the way that you're going to catalyze black and brown male shares of the vote, in either direction, I would argue, was to lean into some of those divisions. And like I said, the extent to which it's a conscious choice, I don't know. But this is not new. Any Californian will tell you this is the way politics has been practiced since the 90s, and Republicans have been doing it. I've been in the rooms. I mean, it's not like it's not happening. This isn't academic.
Republicans do this all the time. Everyone does this. They saw the George Floyd riots, and they knew they could use that to say, "Oh, we need the Hispanics need to fight these Judites because they're in the streets looting," and they knew they could use the myth about Venezuelan gangs invading neighborhoods to make Hispanics say, "We need someone to stop these Hispanic gangs." What Hispanics don't know is something that black people found out. Cops do not make a difference between good blacks and bad blacks. They do not make a difference. They're the same. Cops will not make a difference between citizens who are Hispanic and non-citizens who are Hispanic. They will not make a difference on it. They don't. I'm a black man. I'm telling you it's true. They don't care whether or not you're not a criminal. You're getting shot. You're getting harassed every day. There's a black congressman who is a Donald Trump supporter that said pulling into the Congress every day, he got pulled over 11 times in 6 months. He's a congressman. He supports Donald Trump. Cops don't care whether or not you're a good one or a bad one. They're getting paid to oppress black people. They're going to get paid to oppress Hispanics. Give me the disease. What else do you have?
Oh, so Yashikar?
Yashikar, are you there?
Khan, mi general.
Yahweh en el nombre de Yahweh Shai te bendiga.
Yahweh el nombre de Yahweh Shai lo bendiga, mi general.
Did you want to say anything, warrior?
See, mi general. What you said is real heavy, sir, because that self-hatred among la raza, among Hispanics is so great that it causes them to join another nation that hates them just as equally as they hate themselves.
That's right.
That sister speaking on that news clip, her English was so bad, I don't want it sounded like Spanish. She shouldn't even be speaking English. Somebody should ban her from that. But that's what's so heavy, sir. And their allegiance to something, this is out of Israel. We have an allegiance to something that we believe in so much that we're willing to give our lives for it. That's why we're the first ones to, it's blacks and Hispanics who's the first ones to fight them wars. Right. It's blacks and Hispanics who were the first ones, you know, we're the ones with the huevos out of one. We're the ones who are not afraid of death. So that's what's wrong with our people. That self-hatred. It's a disease brought to us by our oppressors, by our conquistadores, our conquerors.
Right.
And you know, ISUPK is the medicine for that. It's the antidote. That's why this truth is very much needed, out of one. That's all I have to say, sir.
Give him a hand. Orale. Well said. Bien dicho. Well said. What the officer is saying is so true. That's the real reason that Donald Trump won. It was not the economy. It was not because he's manly, because he's terrible at the economy. He's not a real man. He's a pedophile and a rapist. He's not a defender of America. He didn't defend America against the Chinese attack, against the Chinese virus. Donald Trump won because he's racist. Racism won the White House. Now, black people have Stockholm syndrome. What is the disease that white people have? What's the name of it?
Schadenfreude.
Schadenfreude.
German to connect with my family.
Actual disease. This is a real disease. It's called Schadenfreude. White people have Schadenfreude. Please read it and read the definition.
Schadenfreude, okay? He actually taught me a new word that day. Yeah, never heard it before. Schadenfreude. German word. Schadenfreude. Right? It means to take great joy in the pain and suffering of others.
That's Schadenfreude. That's a real. Put it up on the screen. The actual name of the disease. It's a mental disorder where I don't need Donald Trump to give me a job. I just need him to take yours. I don't need him to fix my economy. I just need him to destroy yours. I don't need him to help me. I just need him to hurt you. White people have that disease. And there has been so many elections that have been won because some politician has capitalized on white people's Schadenfreude. Can I get one last one to Yuck? Lyndon Baines Johnson saw this in 1964? 63. Lyndon Baines Johnson, LBJ, said this. White people, you don't have to fix America. Just hurt black people. You're going to get elected. Hurt Hispanics. You're going to get elected. You have Lyndon Baines Johnson? Please read it.
He said, I'll tell you what's at the bottom of it. If you can convince the lowest white man he's better than the best colored man, he won't notice you're picking his pocket. Hell, give him somebody to look down on and he'll empty his pockets for you.
If you can convince the lowest white man that he's better than the greatest black man, you can empty his pockets. White people don't care about the economy. They care about hurting Hispanics. The deportations has them so energized because they know that you're going to have a terrible time. That makes them feel good. Lyndon Baines Johnson says, give them someone to look down on, they'll give you money. That's in 1963. Donald Trump is president today. Every white man has Schadenfreude. Every last one. The same way every black and Hispanic has Stockholm syndrome. We are attached to our oppressor. White people love your pain. They love your deportations. They love that you're getting cut off of welfare. They love that you're getting kicked out of your house. They love that you're not getting housing, that you're getting laid off, that you're not getting affirmative action. They love your pain. They don't need to be helped. They just need you to be hurt. With that, pass the class over to Police Officer Parataza.
Men of Israel, we're going to give on one courtesy salute. Men of you, Amajum, which means to stand. Men of Israel, Aman Shabbat, Amajum, Barak, Yahba Shim Yashar Rakata, Yasmata. Men of Israel, we're going to give one courtesy salute to the sisters. Men of Israel, Aman Shabbat, Amajum, Barak, Yahweh Yasmata, class dismissed.